Today on the tagline, we've got no movie news. We're talking about something with the Schmoedown. We're not involved in anything, and someone's got their ears lowered. All that and more tonight on the tagline.
Say ears lowered?
Yeah.
Okay, boomer. Yours was already off. We're off mute now.
What's up, everybody? This is the tagline, the show where the tagline is the title. We are the Cinefanatics once the video's over, and it can go over to us. Yay!
Welcome to the show where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
That's right. Everything here is just like Whose Line Is It anyways.
Yeah, we can't use that, can we?
I don't know.
Probably not legally.
It is funny sounding, though, so I like it. But anyways, we are the Cinefanatics. My name's Robert Adams.
I'm stepping on things.
He's Chris Adams.
All the cords are right underneath my feet. Yes, I am Chris Adams, but if I mess anything up, we're shut down.
Well, that's because I'm taller than you, so you get all the cords.
Sure.
Makes logical sense.
Taller than me by like an inch and a half.
Yeah. Speaking of an inch and a half, guess what I lost today?
No. I don't like where this is going. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're allowed to get haircuts now, which is weird because
nobody told me that.
I told you last week.
I'm still rocking the quarantine look.
Danny from Call to Action told you last week.
Danny, that's right. Oh, that's right. No, I'm very well aware of that. You got it today. I am running out some point this week to also get my ears lowered as well.
Which, okay, here's the thing, though. I was kind of torn about it because...
It's been 2.5... Well, it's been since February.
Yeah, well, for you.
Yeah.
I asked...
Also.
Yeah. Well, I still left this.
Yeah.
The place that I went to go get my haircut is the place I always go. So, the person who cut my hair today is the same person who cut my hair before the world ended. And so I asked her, I was like, so when did y'all officially shut down? Because I wasn't keeping track. And apparently it was like a day or two after I got my haircut.
Nice.
So, I mean...
Nick of time.
I knew I was right on that cusp because I was coasting like for at least a good month. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then it really got to, this isn't looking good anymore.
Yeah.
So it was really weird. And I'm the type of person, like, through all this, I'm thinking, like, we still need to, like, just stay indoors, not go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, just only go out for essential things if you have to. There's no going to a movie theater yet or anything. So
even though we got one open near us. Showing movies that we've already seen, so what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea is just to go sit in a movie theater again.
Which I'm very much looking forward to, but I'm not going to go to that one.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so quick movie news there is they're still planning on Tenet coming out in July, and Disney has confirmed Mulan is also going to be released in July as of right now.
There's another movie that's, I think, like right at the beginning of July. It's like a Russell Crowe movie. I can't remember what it's called, but it's also supposed to be like the first movie that...
But it's not a big blockbuster that's going to be a draw for people to go to the movie.
The fact that I don't remember its title is, basically. Yeah. So yeah, that's huge. I mean, we still got big tentpole releases in July, so...
So anyways, I still feel weird going out and doing things right now.
Yeah, but in July.
I haven't been anywhere except work, grocery store, convenience store, liquor store. That's about it.
Liquor store is essential.
Liquor store is definitely essential.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to this week, though. Like, honestly, this whole thing has taught me that never take for granted the haircut ever again. I am looking forward to bzzz, and then as soon as I do that, this is all gone too. I'm gonna feel like a new man.
What was funny though was like a couple of weeks ago, like on the heels of like say Christian and Flirt and Flouse shaving their heads.
He had his goodbye today.
Yeah, was there Flirt and Flouse?
Yeah, he said goodbye today.
Oh,
until they actually need him for something, and then Brett will shave his head again.
Meaning Brett had to shave that one piece of hair.
He's gonna shave. He's shaving it. He's shaving it tonight.
I'm surprised he's had it for this long.
I'm surprised his wife has let him have it this long.
Well, he probably wears a hat to bed and
that's true.
I mean, just cover it.
Nightcap.
Shower cap.
He's bringing the nightcap back. Didn't see those since the 40s.
Her kerchief and I in my cap has settled our brains for a long summer's quarantine nap.
You got the long johns. You got to button them down or whatever. Full nightcap.
Oh,
can't do that in Texas.
No, the old one that had like the butt flap in the back. Remember, it had the flap that had the buttons on there.
That's
so
true.
You could unbutton it and be completely clothed while sitting on the toilet.
Butt flap. Have you been watching George of the Jungle?
No, but that's funny.
I did not too long ago.
Jabba. Yeah. So, anyways, that's how we're starting this video, apparently. Butt flaps and haircuts.
We talk about movies here.
That should have actually been the title for this, is Butt Flaps and Haircuts.
That's the next title.
Yeah.
Butt flaps and haircuts.
2020.
Butt flaps and haircuts.
Oh, that's a bad phrase. We shouldn't use that phrase anymore.
Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, no. Because if we knew back then what we know now in 2020.
2020 will never be anyone's sight ever again.
Toilet paper. Or I could have just used the butt flap.
Yeah. I don't know what that even means anymore. Yeah, real quick, we got a newbie in the chat, Cutter Hale. This is his first time jumping in our chat. What's up, Cutter? It's good to see you here.
Yeah, I believe we've actually seen him at a live event before.
He was in Houston.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yep. Yes, we remember.
We remember. I remember who Cutter is.
An elephant never forgets, and neither do we, and I don't know what the elephant has to do with anything.
But alcohol's been involved.
It is now.
Yeah. So new people in chat. That's awesome. That's cool. Thanks for joining us.
Please keep coming.
Yeah.
Phrasing.
Oh, God. Really? We're not even we're just 6 minutes in. So
what was that noise?
So other than the obvious news that we'll get into it.
This is Andy Kaufman.
Oh, yeah. Andy Kaufman with Tony Clifton. Yeah.
That's right. You turned on this channel for Tony Clifton references.
I wonder if someone clicked on it just now and hit skip ad and all they got is and they're like, I'm not skipping the ad anymore ever again. Just let the ad play.
This is why I recommend that Andy and Jim documentary.
Oh, that was good.
That's such a great documentary.
It was on it's on Netflix. If you've seen Man on the Moon, the Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman, if you haven't seen, it's Jim and Andy. It's the documentary about it on Netflix. It is fantastic. I'm not a huge documentary person, but I really like Jim Carrey's performance in that movie, and I like Andy Kaufman. Yeah. Just because of the type of humor he has is fantastic. So I loved watching that documentary. It was really well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So as we begin this show, other than obvious stuff that we're going to be talking about later on,
big stuff
we want to talk about.
Oh yeah, huge.
How has your week been?
It's been interesting. I got a new phone. I can't afford it, so we'll get to ways you can help donate and help me afford this phone.
Yeah. So speaking of which, that's a good time for plugs. As you can see across the top here, this is on YouTube, so we do have Super Chat available. If you have questions, comments, anything you want to say, flag us down, use that Super Chat. You can also use the Streamlabs that's up there above his head, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. The link is also down in the description. Also, make sure you hop on our Patreon. If you haven't seen us for a while, we have a Patreon now. Join the Patreon. That link is up here above my head, just on the other side of this logo, depending on where I learn how to point. So patreon.com/cinefanatics. Choose the tier that's right for you. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
Choose the tier that's right for you.
Yes.
Oops! Someone forgot to boost.
Oh, Roka does it so much better.
He does. That's the other thing. If you've missed the episode of this that we did with Roka a couple weeks back, you should go check that out because that was a ton of fun.
That was great. Anyway, so how have you been, other than your phone that you need to pay for? Yeah. How have you been doing?
Doing okay. I'm surviving. I'm alive.
Oh, okay.
I'm making it. Had some fun. I did this thing a few days ago called the Video Chronic quiz, pop culture quiz. That was really fun. People should go check that out. It's on Video Drew's channel. I was competing in this Avengers Infinity War and Endgame 40 questions thing. I was competing with someone. I don't remember who it was. They were a complete loser, though. I think I spoiled that. Whatever.
No, I'm your brother. You just call me loser like normal.
Oh, yeah, it was you.
You spoiled it by saying, I think I spoiled it.
You sucked at that because you lost to me.
Yeah, but you actually now did just spoil it.
Yeah, I did.
You loser.
Well, you guys should go check it out anyway because it's 40 questions of pure Infinity War and Endgame knowledge.
Infinity War Endgame.
We were adulterated.
It was slightly adulterated.
I still don't know if that's correct.
Just a little adult.
Why do we have a show?
The good Lord thought that we should be blessed with a YouTube channel.
We should be blessed with a YouTube channel and cameras.
I don't know. I'll figure that out someday.
It was a good decision.
Yeah, it was. Always a great decision.
We're stalling because there's not a lot to talk about as far as movie news goes.
No, I'm trying to collect my thoughts because I was gonna start talking about
go for it.
What happened with me.
Do your thing.
But it was a segue off of that as well. So I was gonna bring back up.
Yeah, what happened to you?
This Video Chronic competition that we did was fantastic. Had a blast.
It was fun.
And then
10 out of 10 would do again.
Yeah. For some reason, the next day, completely out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got sick again.
Oh,
for like a day.
That was like a good, I needed to just stay in bed, all day, all night, all the next day.
You got smacked in the face with something.
I don't know what that was. But it was not...
My winning hand. Ha 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 ha.
It wasn't anything all of last month I had that cold or whatever with the cough and everything, which I'm still getting over this cough.
It's not Hamlet, Alex, it's Hamilton.
Yeah.
Close.
Hamlet on Disney Plus.
We appreciate you nonetheless.
Yeah. So I don't know. I had that cold all last month. This was some weird, stupid, bug. You're not gonna feel good for the next 24 hours. And oh, okay. So that's what I did. Is I just laid there and.
You didn't feel good for the 20 plus.
And then apparently, while I was laying there, not feeling well. Someone did a reaction to the Schmoedown by themselves.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we couldn't skip more. Probably shouldn't have skipped that first one, but hey, you know what? That's what happens. We're not skipping this one, though.
That was a good one.
It was apparently a really good match, and it was. It was a good match.
So, yeah, we'll talk more about Schmoedown here in a little bit, but, while you were filming it, I was laying in bed as a sick boy just watching it on my phone.
Sick boy.
Yeah, so.
Yep. It was fun, though. It was very interesting to do a Schmoedown reaction by myself. Sort of have done one of those before.
And not watching me.
Yeah. Sort of have done one of those before, not completely because you were just in the other room while I was doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I've always been just in the other room.
Yeah. That's a little behind the scenes. If you guys missed the reaction that I did to the match that he actually competed in, still one of my most favorite things.
That was a good reaction.
It's one of my most favorite videos that we've ever done, much less a reaction to the Schmoedown.
Yeah, that was a fun video.
But yeah, no, I like a whole, you were supposedly getting up, walking out the door, boom, you appeared in Los Angeles all of a sudden, which...
I like you spitting water all over our floor.
Yeah, it's a good thing we set up trash bags to catch that water beforehand. I mean, I knew I was going to do a spit take.
Yeah.
That's called acting!
Yeah. Shooting water out your mouth is acting.
Hey, it's acting for this channel.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's been going on this week. It was a lot of fun. I guess a lot of interesting things. We'll move on to the newer segment that I've created.
What have you caught up on and watched?
On what have you been watching this week?
And
since I have not been feeling well.
My answer has been the same every single week.
Nothing.
I've not watched any new thing yet.
So, since I haven't been feeling good, I did catch up on some stuff. So, let me see here real quick.
For someone who likes movies, I sure don't watch a whole lot of new ones to me.
Well, it's just a lot of it's a matter of time. Right now, just you're busy out there just hitting the...
And I feel like I'm watching streams from everyone every single night, and I'm doing that more than I'm watching movies.
See, I like that because I like listening, for example, Call to Action, Fantastic People.
Oh, yeah.
I love, say, was it Saturday, Sunday they did their streams? I'm sitting there working on,
Well, Friday they had their Last Ladies night on their channel.
Yeah. I think that was Saturday. One of those nights. So...
Yes, it was Saturday.
It was Saturday.
That is correct.
So... I like listening to them because while I'm doing that, I'm making the thumbnails and.
Garth says he can't hear you well. You might need to turn your mic up. There's no echo. You just might need to turn it up.
Yeah. So okay. So real quick, while we're talking about that, is
your mic's not working at all.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well,
test.
Hold on. Yep, my mic's working. Sorry, everybody.
Is this work? No, it's not working.
Is it plugged in? We're professionals.
It's always something. No? I have no idea.
Well, I mean, we could just put this one in the center and just do
Old school?
just go old school. Do it in the round.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what we call doing things in the middle of the stream. Thanks, Garth. You ruined everything, man. Hello? Oh, I was like, dude, you unplugged my mic.
Yes, I unplugged them both.
Yeah, yours is still not. You're just still not working. Okay, so
That's like super.
Cutter says he can hear both of us great.
Yeah, because it's coming off the one mic.
All right, so that's the thing. Do I need to go ahead and put this in the center then, and we'll just switch it over to the round?
Yeah, let's just switch it over.
It's one to the left.
Yes.
All right. Let's see how this works. Y'all let us know if this sounds
And
okay.
we'll just have to talk a little bit louder than normal.
Which is easy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could hear him quieter because you heard him from my mic, which was across the table, which we don't want to do.
Yeah.
But now we have this. We should have this solved. Y'all let us know if we sound.
That was working a second ago.
If we sound better. Yeah, I was. It's weird.
Huh.
Anyway, yeah, that's great. Cool. All right, moving on. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Great.
Hey, what were we talking about?
Awesome. Professionals.
Oh, we'll just go back up and.
I'm gonna drink my beer.
Anyways, we'll talk about Schmoedown some more later.
Lele.
Says that mic was screwy. Anyways, here's the thing. That's a new mic.
Yeah.
I picked up a new mic today.
And that's the thing. The problem is that for some reason OBS might not be recognizing the new mic.
Well, it was working a second ago.
I guess. I don't know what's happening. OBS is screwy.
Oh, yeah, movies that I watched.
That's what you were doing. Yep.
Yes. So real quick,
yes, Garth got it. We were talking about other people's live streams and videos more than movies. Yeah, that's true. That's why I haven't watched a whole lot of movies lately, is because between all the streams I watch, I mean, I've been watching Roxy's stream, I've been watching SEN, I've been watching obviously Call to Action because we love those guys. Literally been watching like everybody. Obviously, we were on Video Drew's stream.
Yep.
We were actually on it. We do our own stream. So yeah, it's literally like almost every night is a different stream, and so I'm probably actually going to be cutting back on some of that just because I want to watch what's happening. You fix it?
I think I fixed it.
You fixed it? We're gonna forget what we were talking about again. All right, let me move this. All right.
So that's on the same. Yeah.
Good. Or they're just both on mine now.
That's what it looks like.
Yep. I'm just gonna. Okay. Just. Hey, if this works, let's just leave it alone. If this works, let's just leave it alone. They can hear us. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been doing I know, it's fine. I've been doing thumbnails and stuff while watching C2A. So I really like listening to everyone else's streams. So if y'all got any other streams y'all want to call out, shout out, let us know in the chat so we can check that out. Echo. Yeah, because we got...
Just mute the first one. Yeah.
There we go. Echo fixed. Woo!
That's a whole thing, guys. It's a whole thing.
At least the frame rate's good.
Get those SD cards.
Yeah. So, yeah, love watching everybody's streams. Let us know if there's any ones that y'all also watch that you...
Still echo?
Yeah, the echo should be gone now.
Still echo? We're starting off on a good foot tonight.
Yeah. Dance party. Oh no! Last time there was a dance party. That's
we
what.
good. Tyler says we're good.
That's
All
what got me sick is that we did the dance party whenever.
Yeah.
Drew and
That's what got you.
and
sick.
Eric froze. We had to quickly dance, and I just can't. I can't dance. Although I was drinking enough margarita, so.
Garth says never actually. Are you kidding? I've scared Drew many times. That's right. That's probably one of my new favorite things to do. Whenever you're on the Video Chronic pop culture quiz stuff, and then she's not expecting it, and then all of a sudden I just pop, hi Drew!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so much fun.
I love those two.
Actually, I really like.
Those two are so great.
Oh, yeah.
So, movies, real quick.
Yeah, what movies did you watch?
Caught up on Equalizer 2.
I need to catch up on Equalizer 1.
The first Equalizer's good. The second one,
I need to watch those.
There's a bunch of movies I've rewatched. By the way, if y'all want to see what I'm talking about, what I've watched, make sure you follow me on Letterboxd at Robert Adams MLP. It's the same as my Twitter thing down below here.
There you go.
Watched Let Me In, which is it's an American remake of.
Right one in?
It's an American remake of Let the Right One In.
Oh, got it.
Which was, I believe, Swedish. About a boy who's teased who befriends a young vampire girl.
I wanted to do a Swedish accent just then, but I mentally realized that I can't do it, so I didn't.
You can't do it. You actually can't do it, or you shouldn't do it.
Yes.
Oh, because my Swedish accent will always and forever be the chef.
Yeah.
I don't know how well the microphone picks it up. Yeah, it's a turkey burkey.
Turkey burkey.
Yeah. Let Me In, fantastic movie.
This is a stupid channel.
Watched A Simple Favor. Which,
that one I haven't seen, and I still want to see it.
Which, real quick on that one,
that was Paul Feig, right?
Yes,
Paul Feig.
Paul Feig.
Yeah.
Off of his fantastic version of Ghostbusters, decided to make A Simple Favor with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. Which, that one was funny. If any of y'all have seen that movie, if y'all have noticed, at the beginning, Blake Lively's character is a more, like, well-to-do, upscale. She invites Anna Kendrick's character over to her house for martinis. Gin martinis. So when she goes to the back to pull out the alcohol...
Blake Lively's getting gin, huh?
Guess what bottle of gin she pulls out?
I have no clue.
So, for those of you who don't know, Blake Lively is married to Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds owns Aviation Gin. So, the really good question, whenever you see product placement like that, that's, like, obvious, does that take you out of the movie? Because for a second it did. I saw her I saw her pull out this Aviation Gin. I'm like, figures.
That one would probably take me out just because of the actual connection between her and Aviation.
Yeah.
Through her husband.
But at the same time, I wouldn't want to see her pull out like a bottle of Tanqueray or Bombay Sapphire or something.
I honestly think that's probably in her contract. Look, you're gonna have me touch gin in this movie. It's gonna be Aviation.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So I just thought that was funny. It's kind of weird seeing like that kind of a product placement because it does kind of take you out of the movie for a bit. But that was funny. That was cute. That was I would actually say that's right up Ryan Reynolds' alley as far as his humor on that. Oh, hey, you're gonna make gin? Use Aviation Gin. It's the best gin in the world.
That's actually not bad of a Ryan Reynolds.
It was almost kind of Jim Carrey-ish too.
Yeah, they're about 2.5 steps away from each other.
Yeah. And then as far as movies, the only other thing that I've been trying to catch up on as I'm trying to hold back coughing was I decided to dive into the Star Trek movies.
I need to do that. I need to do that bad.
So I knocked out Motion Picture last night, and today during the day I knocked out Wrath of Khan. Here's the thing. I have heard that Wrath of Khan easily, by far, is like the best movie of like the whole, like at least the original series movies. I really wanted to watch that one. Mm-hmm. But I'm a stickler for going in order. So I need to watch Motion Picture first. Yeah. If you're not a stickler for going in order, you don't have to watch the Motion Picture first. Just dive straight into Wrath of Khan. Yeah. In fact, you don't even really need to know anything about the TV show because they actually do a very good job of explaining why Khan is pissed off.
Yeah. First of all they do is just start with the same opening log line.
Not really.
And then, hey, this is Khan. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
I need to watch the Star Trek movies. Star Trek was never like my thing. Every time Mom and Dad watched it, I was always like, "Ha!" Other room.
Oh, Saturday night, we have to eat dinner while watching Star Trek.
That's not Star Wars. Bored. That's alienating a crowd. Here's the thing: if you like Star Trek, that's completely fine. I actually am saying still that I need to watch them. I think now that I'm older, I could actually appreciate them. When I was a kid, bored.
We definitely grew up liking Star Wars a lot more than Star Trek.
There was more action.
Yeah. And Star Trek was like I would say like more of a thinking sci-fi.
Yeah.
But as we grew up, I would say we did have more of an appreciation for the Next Generation cast rather than the original series.
Yeah. Make it so.
You even more so were probably like even more connected, like say Deep Space Nine, maybe Voyager.
And Star Trek Generations was...
Well, no, I'm talking about the TV shows,
Next
not
Generation.
the movies. Yeah.
Next Generation, I should say. Yeah.
Okay, so still.
Yeah, Next Generation was more... I like that. Just the characters in that just strike me as more iconic than, say, any of the other ones. I don't remember a dang thing from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. So, needless to say, one of the reasons I did this is because there is the movie trivia Schmoedown Inner Geekdom matches coming.
What is that?
I want to be able to answer questions about Star Trek.
That's true.
It would be nice to when they're like, so this next category comes from Star Trek, and we're like,
It would be nice if you told me about that earlier. I could have been watching them also.
You can go watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I still can, but I would have liked to have an earlier jump on it.
Yeah, possibly.
Because that Inner Geekdom term is going to come up fast.
Yeah.
Which we will definitely talk about that here in a little bit also.
Yeah.
I want to cover a couple of these movie news things first.
Name the cloud that's attacking them in motion picture.
Bespin.
Viger.
Oh.
No, not Cloud City.
Oh,
the
Galactus.
Cloud. No, okay. So here's the. If y'all seen Star Trek: The Motion Picture, that is exactly what I was thinking. Is they said like it's a cloud that's moving towards Earth that's going to attack Earth. I'm like, Galactus.
It's giving me like PTSD from Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Oh god. The thing is like that whole like deadly cloud thing. I think Star Trek did it better than Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Oh, yeah.
But
Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, Green Lantern too. Yeah.
Parallax.
Going back to Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Just have some aviation gin and you won't care.
Which apparently, aviation gin was also in Green Lantern, and I did not know that. I don't remember.
Let's say Green Lantern came out in 2011. I don't think he had purchased aviation gin at that time.
I think he was a strong fan.
Or he was about to.
He was a strong fan at least. That's the thing though, is it came out in 2011, and I can promise you that I have not seen Green Lantern since 2011.
I've seen it a couple of times, and it's not gotten better.
No.
At all.
If I ever want to watch Green Lantern, I'll just turn on Deadpool.
Yeah, pretty much. Ooh, we started talking about Star Trek, and Garth is going to town in the chat here.
I think Garth likes Star Trek.
I think so too. So real quick before we get into movie news, let's catch up on the chat. Give us a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we're there. We're getting there.
Superman 2 was the first product placement bugged me. Was it that when Zod threw Superman into the giant Coca-Cola Light logo? Because that was like, hey, drink Coke. Superman crashed into it. Like,
it's good. It's the soda that Superman crashed into.
Brian Nussbaum says he saw Heavyweights for the first time and it was fantastic. I missed that when I was younger. I didn't watch that. I knew of it. I know who's in it. But
I think that's the thing. A lot of these movies that a lot of people are warmed up to when they were younger, Heavyweights, Goonies, Hook, these types of movies that came out like in the late 80s, early 90s that really affected people when they were younger. I think honestly, whenever the day comes that I have children, I will show them those movies while they're younger.
Yeah.
Because I heard a lot, and like Goonies doesn't affect me as much as some people do. It does.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I watched it till I was, maybe middle school age, and I just didn't care as much then. But those types of movies are absolutely, they're fun. They're fun adventure films for younger kids.
My thing was, it's really funny. As much as I love horror movies now, there were things in those older movies that literally scared the crap out of me. Like Goonies, there's the part with the first time you see Sloth's face when he turns around and he like at Chunk, like lost it.
That's
like
my Sloth impression.
Yeah. Hey guys,
baby
Ruth. I couldn't handle that. I saw it one time. I was like, nope. And then I didn't watch it again until I was much older. I was like, funny. Same goes with Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I know what you're going at.
Oh yeah. Was it Big Bertha or whatever? Large Marge, Big Bertha. Big Bertha, Large Marge, whatever.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, it was a deadly night. So what was funny when I first saw that movie, it was like this is gonna sound weird, and I don't know how to explain it, but just go with it. When I first saw that movie, it was when I was a kid, and we were at a church lock-in. Like, so we just...
They showed it at a church lock-in?
Exactly. Just go with it. So at that time, they had like all the food and drinks and everything were outside of the room where we were all watching movies. So I left the room to go get like another drink or something. I came back in, and I remember another kid telling me, like, hey, you missed a really weird part. And I'm like, what part? And they're like, her face freaked out. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't get that. And then I watched it like maybe like another year or two later, and I saw it, and I freaked out. Like, I just like, nope. And then again, back to now I watch it, and I'm like,
it's Clay.
It's Clay. It's so funny. It's amazing how much stuff that scared you as a kid you can go back and watch now. I think the first movie I saw in the theater, which is going to sound weird if you have any idea how old I am, was Willow.
Yeah.
And there's a part in there where they're fighting these like little creatures, and Willow, I guess, slices one of the creatures with a sword, and the creature like splits open, falls off a bridge, and becomes this two-headed dragon. Great. And here's the thing, I really haven't watched this movie since I saw it in the theaters, so I might be remembering part of that a little bit wrong. It might be a little off, but it's basically that. Yeah. And I remember seeing this creature split open and seeing his insides. I'm like, nope, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the insides of creatures.
Yeah.
Fast forward to now. I'll watch a horror movie, people getting ripped apart and guts and trails, and everyone's like sitting there playing with the intestines and stuff, and like, it's really weird.
I will not watch those because I don't like those.
It's super strange.
Yeah.
So amazing how that happened. Being desensitized over the years.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're a freak.
I guess.
Anyway, honestly, we should move on to some of this movie news. We're about 30 minutes in here, so we need to cut to a couple of those stories that we got before we start talking about all the Schmoedown stuff, because that Schmoedown stuff's got to be the bulk of what we're talking about tonight.
Oh, it is? Oh, it would be the bulk of our thumbnail, so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, real quick.
Oh, yeah, brother. Oh, yeah, brother.
Yeah, it's kind of related, actually. Let's cover some of this movie-related news.
Yeah, we're stretching on some of this here, y'all.
Movie adjacent, because Mandalorian's not a movie. But it's apparently going to feature characters that were from a movie.
Yeah, I feel like we've done this before.
Yeah, kind of. We did it with Ahsoka, which, I mean, she's still the pretty much slightly confirmed, heavily rumored. Everything right now is very heavy rumors, if not honestly confirmed at this point.
Wow. Really, Garth? I get it, Robert. I remember the first dead body I helped my dad bury in the woods freaked me out, but as an adult, burying bodies is no big deal now. Yeah, probably not.
Dang it, I love Garth.
Call
911. You do you, Garth. And apparently those... Yeah, whatever. Anyway. So, yeah, Mandalorian. Dude, apparently Tamora Morrison is coming back. This is the big news. This is some of the big news that hit this last week. I know there's news that also was hitting today. I'll cover that also.
Yeah.
The big part, though, is Tamora Morrison reprising, sort of, his role as
a clone?
Boba Fett. A clone.
Yeah.
I say reprising because his voice actually took over for Boba Fett in the whichever... I guess... I want to say it was the Blu-ray special editions.
The original Boba Fett was Jeremy Bulloch in performance and in voice.
Right.
And then...
Now he's just performance.
Huh?
Now he's just performance.
Yeah. Then after they released Attack of the Clones, where they had solidified that all the clones and Jango and Boba Fett are supposed to be essentially Tamora Morrison, they went back and redid, and they dubbed Tamora Morrison's voice in place of Jeremy Bulloch.
I want to say that was for the Blu-ray releases.
I believe so.
That was the next one that got updated after the prequels came out.
I believe so, because I do still remember buying Episode 1 on VHS.
Yeah. Whew. That's how old we are. We watched the prequel movies on VHS. At least episode 1.
I think we still have a copy of the Titanic when it first came out on VHS, and it's the two VHSs. And every time, here's the fun. Every time I watch Titanic, I can still tell you exactly where the first VHS cuts off.
Real quick, Cutter in the chat. Do you know what VHSs are?
Like I said, we remember you.
I know Garth knows.
Yeah.
Garth remembers what movies were before VHSs.
What were movies before VHSs?
I actually don't know.
Garth, what were movies before VHSs?
Were there
How did you watch movies before then? You just watched them whenever they came on TV, or you saw them in the theater, and if you didn't see it in the theater, you just...
We're awful. We're horrible. We're just... Bye, audience.
Yeah.
Everybody. Hey, Streamlabs right there, Cinefanatics.
So there's Streamlabs, there's a Patreon. Make sure you drop those questions in the super chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, no, I'm excited about Tamora Morrison reprising essentially the role of Boba Fett, because I think that's just fan service casting at this point. I mean, who else are you going to get to play the clone of Tamora Morrison?
Yeah.
But the news is he just playing Boba Fett, or could he also or be playing Rex from Clone Wars and Rebels?
Now, here's the thing. If you're anyone like me, you haven't seen the end of Clone Wars.
You haven't seen most of Clone Wars.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in the first season somewhere. I've watched the movie and then a couple episodes after that, and that's about it.
Yeah. You gotta catch up on this.
I know Rex has something to do with Ahsoka at the end of Clone Wars, and that's all I know.
Yep.
So no spoilers whatsoever, if there really is any. I mean, we know Rex and Ahsoka aren't involved with the movies at all, so who knows? But supposedly, what we're supposed to know is that Ahsoka is supposed to pop up in Mandalorian, and I guess Rex is with her? Is a leading rumor, or at least that concept art that was supposed to show the two of them with hoods, which really doesn't give anything away.
So they had split back up throughout the timeline, met back up in Rebels, and then unsure, say, after Rebels, given what happens with Ahsoka during the course of the series of Rebels, if there's any possibility that they met back up, and assuming that they did, maybe they have been together this entire time, post-Rebels. Well, I say that, but Dave Filoni also said that one, beardy dude on Endor in Return of the Jedi was Rex, which is a weird confirmation because he was...
The beardy dude on Endor?
Literally in the background, literally did not have any lines. He was just back there.
Are you talking about Wilford Brimley?
No.
In the Battle for Endor, or Caravan of Courage?
Rex never had the diabetes.
The diabetes.
No, he was one of the random troops in the background in Endor. He had he had this gray facial hair, and
he's supposed to be Rex?
Dave Filoni said, retroactively speaking, yeah, that guy right there, that was Rex.
Just like the kid in Iron Man 2 is supposed to be Peter Parker.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Basically the same thing, which means that should he need to, for the purposes of storytelling in Mandalorian, he can go back again and say, I was just kidding. That wasn't Rex. This is where Rex was at this entire time.
I guess that works.
Which is fine, because you're getting Tamora Morrison to come back and play him, and Tamora Morrison wasn't playing old beardy guy from Endor in Return of the Jedi, because Tamora Morrison would have probably been a child during Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know ages. He was young. He was young.
I'm not drawing out a timeline here. Real quick, though, I did see we have a bona fide warrior in our chat here.
Oh.
AJ Lancaster says, I made my parents take me to Wing Commander twice. Twice. For the episode 1 trailer. I just convinced them I really liked Wing Commander. Mr. AJ Lancaster, we're not the Action Army or Call to Action, but we salute you and what you've done as a bona fide warrior, because that movie is awful. Sat through that movie twice just for the episode 1 trailer.
But honestly, can you remember when that episode 1 trailer came out?
I do.
The hype around that thing was huge.
I remember the screen was dark. I think you heard a voiceover. You heard Princess Leia's theme, I believe it was. And then the first thing when the screen came up, you saw the fog, and you saw the Gungans coming out of the fog.
I'm trying to Okay, no, that scene was used in the movie. It was
Yes,
right
it
before,
was.
It was right before the final battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, I don't remember that scene in the movie, but then, yeah, no, I do. I do remember it. Yeah, no, that trailer was so
that trailer was sick. And then the movie came out, and we're like, I feel sick.
Well, you as a person who was a little bit older at that time, me as a kid, I was like, Star Wars!
And politics. You just love the politics, didn't you?
I was a kid. I wasn't paying attention to politics. I was paying attention to cool-looking aliens on the screen. Oh, and Darth Maul's got a double-bladed lightsaber. That's neat.
Yeah.
Let me turn my head when he gets cut in half, though, because I'm too young for this.
Yeah. The one thing, I don't know... Yeah, roughly around that time, because...
Yes, that's how I grew up. I turned my head when Darth Maul got cut in half.
Now you watch it, and you're like, eh.
Now I'm like, he's going to come back later.
Yeah.
He's not dead.
No, he didn't. He did not think that.
I do now.
Mm-hmm.
If I watch episode 1 now, I go, he's going to come back later. Which, spoilers for you, you still haven't watched Clone Wars.
Well, he was in Solo.
That's true, too.
Yeah. But that movie doesn't count, so whatever. The funny thing on that, though, was, so we saw that, and then, because I was Ray Park as Darth Maul, and then we saw X-Men, and this was right before, oh man,
What a year he had.
Like within that year, I don't want to give too much away because it gives away ages and stuff, and I don't want to do that, but, so, right after he was in X-Men, or I think it was right before he was about to be in X-Men, I can't remember, somewhere in there, we went to a...
Was it before X-Men?
It was somewhere around X-Men. We went to a convention and met Ray Park.
Time is a weird thing.
I need to find that picture.
We need to find that.
Because you're a kid.
Oh, yeah, I'm a straight child.
And I'm in high school. Like,
were you?
Yes. That's what I said. I don't want to give too much away, but...
I don't know.
Yes. I know exactly how old I was at that time. Yes.
You were barely still in high school.
Okay. Well, thanks for helping the charade continue to go.
He was already getting old.
Yeah. So...
If you count that as old. Anyway. AJ says Jar Jar works and I will debate it. Hey, I don't actually have a problem with Jar Jar. I understand why people do. I completely get it.
I understand why George Lucas put him in there.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is...
Politics. You gotta have something to counterbalance the politics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, that's roughly it.
Yeah.
You're talking about that, like, do you make this movie to cater to the people who grew up with the original Star Wars? Mm-hmm. Or are you trying to get new Star Wars fans while still trying to please the current fans?
And the answer is yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, though, that's the thing, because what makes it hilarious is when you get to Attack of the Clones and you realize that it's Jar Jar who gives the Emperor all the power he needs, or the Chancellor at that time, all the power he needs. So it's like, hey, your fun little cartoon that you liked in Episode 1, politics on him. Yeah. Do the math. Yeah.
Okay, so here I'll go ahead and give it away.
Someone's almost 40.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give away part of this. So if you want to do the math, if you feel like doing the math, feel free. Here's where you're going to potentially figure it out. So Episode 1 came out in 1999. X-Men came out in 2000. I saw X-Men right before I left for the military.
Yeah.
And I went into the military the following fall after I graduated high school.
Yeah.
So.
He graduated in 2000.
Well, thanks for telling them. I mean.
I want them paying attention to us not doing math right now.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing. Here's what's fun. Is you know how old I was in 2000? I was graduating elementary school.
Elementary school.
Oh, yeah. So that's a lot of fun. Anyway, Mandalorian stuff, though. Tamora Morrison's coming back. Boba Fett, Rex, maybe both, maybe either or. I honestly could see both happening, especially if Ahsoka's coming back in it.
The only question is if they have both Rex and Boba Fett, are Rex and Boba Fett the same age clone-wise? For example, if you remember, Django is the head of all the clones. He's where the clones were created from. Boba
he lost his head.
Yeah. Boba is a clone of Django.
Yep.
Boba was not the same age as all the other clones.
Boba was an unaltered clone, which means he aged like a normal human would.
While the rest of the clones were rapidly progressed. Thank God they don't do that now.
The rest of the clones, I believe, rapid age progress up until adulthood. So just so they could farm them and get them up and running pretty quick. Just blast through childhood and immediately be adults. So Rex is an adult male by the time of the Clone Wars, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then he ages, I believe, like a normal human would throughout the rest of his lifespan. Boba, on the other hand, ages like a normal human from moment of clone conception, I guess. That's how you word it.
Yeah.
So where Boba was basically around 10 years old, say, in Attack of the Clones, basically be about 13 or so in Revenge of the Sith. Clone Wars lasts somewhere around 3 years or so.
Y'all didn't expect this much math on tonight's episode.
I've been looking at as soon as they said Schmoedown was coming back as Boba Fett and possibly Rex, I was like, all right, let's do the math. Does he look the right age?
Seriously, I went to his room earlier and he looked like Charlie Day from that meme with doing all the math. I can't do it in this little tiny window that I've blocked off on the screen here. Yeah. I can't even figure out whatever.
Yeah. So the thing is that okay, you give the fact that say by Revenge of the Sith, Boba Fett would be probably about 13. Now add 17 years based on 17 or 19 years based on Luke's age.
Yeah.
Where we cover through the time span of, Empire, then you're going into A New Hope. You're going into the start of A New Hope. So Boba Fett would be, whatever the math is, 19 or so plus 13.
But he wants to go to Tashi Station for a new power converter.
Yeah. And the original... Thanks for keeping the mood up. The original trilogy lasts about, 5 years or so. So basically, Boba Fett is almost 40 come time of Mandalorian.
And how old is Tamora Morrison now?
Tamora Morrison's probably in his 50s.
Okay, so...
He's going to have to be aged down probably with makeup for Mandalorian.
So
if they show his face. Which I would assume they will.
The thing I'm questioning on that is... Yeah, if Tamora Morrison is older... Keep in mind, Boba Fett is probably one of the hardest working people in the galaxy. First of all...
He's got some stress on him.
He survived the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
So...
That's a thing.
I mean, if you survive almost being ingested... Given in... probably indigestion.
If you survive gestation... Continue.
Okay. That you're probably gonna have some years on your face. You're probably gonna look like Josh Brolin in Men in Black 3, where he was playing Tommy Lee Jones, when Tommy Lee Jones was in his 20s, and he still looked like he was 50.
That's hilarious.
Dude. Yeah, that was actually a really good comedy bit. That was one of the funniest things of Men in Black 3.
This is the best thing of Men in Black 3.
I don't remember anything else about Men in Black. Oh no, I do remember what's his face.
Yeah.
What's his name? Michael.
Get it. The chat's gonna get it.
Schmoedown. What's his name?
Chat's gonna get it.
The really goofy dude.
This is why we weren't picked up. Get it.
This is why we weren't picked up. Oh, what's his name? He's Call Me by Your Name. You know who I'm talking about, right? He wore the snow cap. He could see or know everything.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's Michael. Come on, let's see if y'all can beat me in the chat before.
It's gonna happen.
Oh man, I know there's a delay on this, so that's what's helping me out here. But I cannot remember his name.
Nice. We're doing it live.
We're going live.
Doing it live.
Like how we can only quote a bit of that.
Hey, look, you got your first name right. It's definitely Michael.
Yeah.
Can I remember his last name? Nah.
Oh, jeez. I can see his face, too.
Garth got it. Boom.
Yeah. Stuhlbarg. Yep. Okay.
Garth got it. Garth beat you.
All right,
Put Garth in the Schmoedown.
Garth, you can have my position as a free agent.
Garth will be on the team.
Which is still a position as a free agent.
Everybody hates us.
Nobody
wants to play with me. Name that movie.
Oh yeah,
we know what movie it is. Name that movie. Otherwise, we take our free agent spots back.
Nobody likes me. Everyone hates me. They're
what were you
all
saying?
out without me.
Okay, Men in Black 3. You remember Mark Stolberg. Okay. We were on the subject of Mandalorian still, though, because there's other news to talk about with that.
Yeah.
Tamora Morrison.
Yeah, so he's definitely going... I like the idea that he's older, potentially, than his character is going to be playing.
It works.
Just because, it'll look like he's more older, more grizzled,
he's
more
weathered.
Experienced.
He's weathered.
Yeah, which I would expect that of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And Rex,
I'm sorry.
Actually.
Hold up. Did you just say Boba Fett?
Yeah, Boba Fett. Like those little things you get at the bottom of your tea.
Bubba? Like the guy from Forrest Gump?
So, Boba Fett's really good at making shrimp.
Boba.
Boba. I'm trying to think of Tonwi. Boba.
Yeah.
Boba.
It's not Bubba. Bubba Gump.
Boba Fett.
Listen, Ford. It's not Bubba.
That's Star Wars Alabama. Boba Fett.
Fat Gump Shrimp. Boba Fett from the Deep South. There it is. Anyway. Yeah, he's gonna be weathered. Put a little makeup on him. He's good. I think he's actually the right age to play Rex at this point because Rex was already getting older in Rebels. Now add another 5 to 7 years on him for Mandalorian. Yeah. He's aged probably about right. I think Rex would be probably around his 50s or so come Mandalorian time.
So at least there's going to be at least one of these guys that they're going to have to keep their helmet on. More likely probably Boba Fett.
Yeah, if they're in a scene together, yeah, that's easy. One person's keeping their helmet on, the other person's not. So it's not Tamora Morrison playing the other.
Boba Fett never had a reason to take off his helmet.
We might... Yeah, so was he following Mandalorian law the entire time? Or the new Mandalorian law according to Mandalorian?
But Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian.
No.
He wears Mandalorian armor,
right.
But he is not Mandalorian. So he can take off his helmet whenever he dang well pleases.
As far as we know right now, but there's a possibility they could retcon that stuff too and actually say like, no, Jango and Boba, well, Boba obviously was clone, but Jango was a Mandalorian and we're retconning that now, and we're gonna say that he was like excommunicated from the Mandalorian tribes or whatever. Who knows?
Whatever.
There's a lot of fun stuff. But real quick, let's move on to the other piece of news.
Jake,
a
little behind, but class of 01 here. Yes, Jake, I'm older than you. We know. What else is happening?
Cutter says he sent in a Streamlab. Let's do it.
Oh, let's check that out. Thank you for letting us know.
He said, "What's up, guys? And yes, my generation is the last to remember VHS. I've been catching up on movies I haven't seen over quarantine. I haven't seen them all yet, but my two favorite are between Knocked Up and Paul. Paul is my favorite Simon Pegg movie now. Dude, I haven't seen that movie.
I have seen Paul. I remember I liked it. I just don't remember too much about
Simon
it.
Pegg was playing Paul. No, Seth Rogen was playing Paul.
Seth Rogen was playing
That's
Paul.
Right. I was mixing the two
It was Simon Pegg and
I was mixing
Nick Frost.
Yeah. That sounds hilarious, honestly.
It was good. It was good because if I remember correctly, Paul was also like a stoner alien. So it was right up Seth Rogen's alley.
Of course. So thank you for that Streamlab, Cutter. Appreciate it.
If you also would like us to address who you are in your question on camera, feel free to send in a Streamlab. The link is down in the description. Or if you're a visual person like we are, you can see it right above his head. And then you could type it in your browser and go there. And then it's just going to ask you for a number. Put a number in there. And then hit enter.
I'm doing the Blake Shelton from The Voice.
Yeah, but Blake did more like a...
Yeah, he's pointing at himself. Angles, man. Angles.
More of a straight finger thing.
Anyway. Phrasing. Anyway.
I use the straight finger all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Good Lord. Come on. We're a family channel here.
It's a straight finger. What are you talking about?
So, in The Mandalorian, apparently for Season 2, the other casting rumor right now is that, besides the fact that they had Rosario Dawson potentially being Ahsoka, and Sasha Banks is potentially going to be Sabine from Rebels, which, again, you don't know, because you never watched Rebels, because you still haven't finished Clone Wars. is Katie Sackhoff reprising her role only this time in live action as Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan is a Mandalorian. She is like the head figure that helped during the Siege of Mandalore, taking Mandalore back from Darth Maul.
Is Bo-Katan the one that was in possession of the thing that was shown at the very end of season 1 of Mandalorian?
I believe she has been in possession of it at least at one point. I believe it was during Rebels. It's weird. I watched Rebels not too long ago, but it feels like it's been forever.
So yes,
I believe she has possessed it once.
Okay.
That is not a confirmed yes because my brain is fuzzy.
So who had it? Like I guess the last as we know.
Actually, yeah, no, I believe Bo-Katan had it before Moff Gideon, whatever his name is in Mandalorian.
Grand Moff Gideon.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe she was the last possessor. It was either her or Sabine that possessed it last. I think it was Bo-Katan.
Grand Moff Gus from Breaking Bad.
Grand Moff Gus. Anyway,
his chicken is fantastic.
It's actually fantastic.
Highly addictive.
Use that verb. You just used it. Adjective, I should say, not verb. Yeah, it's amazing that they're actually getting. Assuming we're still assuming here, but it's confirmed that Katie Sackhoff is coming back as Bo-Katan because she's not that far off from the look of Bo-Katan. Obviously, the cartoon character was not designed with her in mind because when you initially design some of these characters, you're not thinking that the voice actor is going to someday portray them in a live-action medium.
You mean this isn't like Samuel L. Jackson played Nick Fury because they decided to...
Because in the comics, they designed Nick Fury from Samuel Jackson?
Well, not originally, but yeah, eventually they're like, yeah, let's change it and make Nick Fury look
Ultimate Nick Fury.
Well, yeah, no. Okay, real quick. Ultimate Nick Fury was not meant to normally to look like Samuel L. Jackson. They changed it.
You're a nerd.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Because I know someone would say it in the chat.
Yeah.
Probably Garth.
No. But yeah, the thing is that, honestly, give her red hair. Katie Sackhoff's good to go. Maybe a little bit of makeup to age her up a little bit, because I think by this time Bo-Katan would have a little bit more age on her. You're still only looking at another... Shoot, we saw her in Rebels, so it'd be another, 10 or so years on her since the last time we saw her, so... I don't know. I think, first of all, Katie Sackhoff is... she's already portrayed roles in live action. Obviously, neither one of us are really Battlestar Galactica fans, so we don't really know her role as Starbuck.
I actually know her probably more just because her affiliation and friendship with, Christian.
With Christian, yeah.
Yeah, so she was a big friend of Collider and Christian and all those people.
I know her from 24. She had at least a season she was on 24.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that might be a deep cut for some. Oh, that's right. Katie Sackhoff was in 24 for a little bit. I want to say it was actually with Freddie Prinze Jr., which is actually ironic.
I didn't know Freddie Prinze Jr. was in that either.
Considering Freddie Prinze Jr. portrayed Kanan Jarrus in Rebels.
Okay, so from 24, I know Kiefer Sutherland and Mary Lynn Raskub.
It was a later
Raskub.
It was a later season.
Okay.
But yeah, I like this. Everything that we're hearing about Mandalorian right now, if all of it is true, it means that Dave Filoni has his finger exactly on the pulse of where Star Wars is at right now, where it needs to go, and what the fans are wanting, desiring, and saying.
So basically, Dave Filoni is hopefully to Star Wars like Kevin Feige is to Marvel.
That is the ideal situation right now. I know a lot of people are pretty well sticking up for Kathleen Kennedy. And here's the thing. For all the issues that I have with, say, Last Jedi, or the issues that we have with, Force Awakens or Rise of Skywalker, look at how good those movies did box office-wise. They made money.
But, the thing is...
Look at the success of Rogue One, of Solo. Of The Mandalorian. Look at honestly, even look at the success of the last season of Clone Wars. All of this happened during Kathleen Kennedy's run on Lucasfilm.
Well, here's the thing, though.
She's successful.
You in some cases, you do have to kind of pick apart some of these.
Sure.
Solo was not a good movie.
It depends on who you ask. If you ask us, no, we don't like Solo here because we
And
believe it was not well
Rotten
written.
Tomatoes, it was not a good movie.
If you ask Brandon Hanna, it was a good movie.
I'm not asking Brandon Hanna. Who cares about his opinion?
He said it on Twitter today. That's where that comes from.
He said no more questions. I'm not giving him a question. He's just weird.
Weirdo. Yeah, we'll talk about Brandon Hanna later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Kathleen Kennedy has had success as the producer right now, as running the head of Lucasfilm. She has. She's had a successful run. I do think that I would love to see Dave Filoni. I don't know if it's necessarily taking over her role, but it's more so her giving Dave Filoni the complete control over what happens creatively with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because Dave Filoni has worked so closely with George Lucas, and
which may or may not be a good thing.
Put that aside. Put the opinions of what George Lucas did on the prequels aside.
And how he ruined the original trilogy.
Leave it alone. What I'm saying is that Dave Filoni worked closely with George Lucas. It has been George Lucas's vision from beginning to end. It's his story. He came up with it. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Yeah.
That's my standpoint on it. You talk about Dave Filoni has been with George Lucas, at least working over the Clone Wars series, because a lot of that has come from George also. He is somebody that I believe knows and very much respects what Lucas did with Star Wars when he created it, what he did with the prequels, and he knows where Star Wars needs to go now. I am completely okay with Filoni taking complete control over the entire Star Wars universe, not just TV. Will that happen? I don't know. Because TV is a whole thing, and then movies are a whole other thing. But I think now, since we're out of the Skywalker saga, you could treat movies like an extended piece of what you do on TV. One-off movies that are essentially like episodes of their own series. I don't see any reason why Filoni couldn't be in control of that as well. But that's just kind of my opinion over it. I do think eventually you do see Kathleen Kennedy bow out. I think that it would be good if she wanted to bow out while she's had success, go out on top, essentially, and let Filoni take over. But that remains to be seen. I also don't see her leaving anytime soon.
Or I wonder if there's like a way of like splitting.
She doesn't have a reason to leave, really.
Well, I was going to say, it depends on... I don't know the details of exactly what her role entails. Like, for Kevin...
She's the head of Lucasfilm.
Okay, so she could still be the head while appointing Dave Filoni to be the main story getter, I guess. Whatever... I don't know what you would call Kevin Feige as well. I guess Kevin Feige's the head of Marvel Studios.
To some point, I would equate this saying that Kathleen Kennedy is the Bob Iger, or whoever's taking over Disney now, but essentially is the Bob Iger of Lucasfilm, while Dave Filoni would be the Kevin Feige. That's what I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, let Kathleen Kennedy continue doing her role, because she is a very successful movie producer.
Yeah.
At the same time, let Dave Filoni have creative control, because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So... that's my spiel, and that's Katie Sackhoff in The Mandalorian.
Might be good.
I think it's excellent. I think that covers Mandalorian stuff.
AJ Lancaster, Solo was amazing. Says a person who saw Wing Commander twice.
Well, it was nice having you as a patron, AJ. We thank you for your time spent with us. We will catch you whenever you decide to check us out again.
We're so glad that you were able to brave Solo as well.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am absolutely A-okay with people liking Solo. I don't like it, but I'm okay with people liking it. Give that movie justification to exist.
Here's the thing. I get why people like it.
It is a fun adventure movie.
I get why they decided to make that movie.
Sure.
It makes sense.
People like Han Solo. It's a fun adventure movie.
And rightly so.
The writing was god-awful.
Yeah. I mean, that movie was nothing but like fan service. Like every 5 seconds, like, oh, here's where they got his gun.
Yeah. We got a Streamlab from Garth. Says, Robert, you're right. The first appearance of Nick Fury in the Ultimate Comics. I knew it. The line.
I told you Garth would be the one to say it.
He looked more like the original Nick Fury, but the Ultimates #1, Brian Hitch drew him to look like Samuel L. Jackson, so that influenced them casting him for the MCU. Yeah.
Which, I mean, for the most part, that was like the best casting ever. if you
For sure.
ignore the fact that they originally drew Nick Fury to look completely different and not, they just made him to look like just some random black guy rather than Samuel L. Jackson.
He definitely looked like Samuel L. Jackson. He definitely did not look like a random black guy.
No.
That was clearly Samuel L. Jackson.
Says a person who watches your show. Touche. Touche. Dang! Burn.
I got singed on that one, and I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So, Solo 1996 starring Mario Van Peebles was a better Star Wars Solo movie. Wow. Wow, Garth. Wow.
And this is why Garth is in our chat.
Yes.
Is welcome anytime.
Yeah. Any other news or?
No, I mean, do we want to touch on that Batman stuff? 'Cause
Yeah.
we got to do that quickly because we got to get onto this Schmoedown.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about with Schmoedown. So Batman, this isn't really news, but I read there was an article that was released this past week, and I thought this would be a great topic for a very long discussion, which apparently we're going to make a very short discussion.
We're going to make it short.
There was this article where Val Kilmer was talking about, and he was very candid on why he chose not to continue playing Batman after Batman Forever. The short version of this is while they were filming, Warren Buffett brought his kids or his grandkids or somebody's kids, because he's Warren Buffett. He owns all the kids. He brought kids to the set.
Pretty sure it's his grandkids.
He brought kids to the set to basically be on the set of a Batman movie. And these kids were more interested in like checking out the Batman costume, the Batmobile, the Batcomputer, all the Batman stuff. And not so much Val Kilmer as Batman. Even though Val Kilmer did stay behind like in the Batman costume.
Yeah.
And the idea was that he came up with, what he realized is that people, I mean, probably kids.
He wanted to say hi to the kids as Batman.
Yeah, he wanted to say hi to the kids, but he realized that people were drawn to these movies because it's a Batman movie.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter who was in the costume. It was Batman, so therefore people want to watch Batman.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's you lose that, as an actor, you lose that connection to the audience. Mm-hmm. Like, people just care about your character, and especially because it's a character where this is all they see of you is...
And this.
And this.
Yeah.
Make sure we're not making any...
We're fine.
Bad.
You're good.
Okay.
Move on.
But that's all they see of you, and they hear your voice or performance. Spider-Man.
I can't touch my glasses. I'll smudge them.
Yeah. But
why do we have a channel?
But that's why he decided not to reprise Batman, because who cares who's in the Batman costume?
It's Batman.
As long as you see Batman on screen, you're happy. You're good.
To a degree, that's true.
And that's very true. Now, let's fast forward, and this is why I thought this was a good discussion piece. Fast forward to where we are now. Now that we're in a place where superhero movies rule the box office, because Batman Forever came out 95. Mm-hmm. Superhero movies really weren't that prevalent. Batman was about it. Late 90s, you had Blade, you had Spawn. That's about it. Crow. But Crow was 94. Whatever.
Shut up, Garth.
Movie release dates.
It's just in Cinefanatics making white power hand gestures.
That's what I was trying to avoid. So you fast forward to nowadays where superhero movies dominate the movie landscape.
Yeah. In-game.
The cinema is filled with cinematic movies.
Infinity War broke records. This just in-game broke Infinity War's records.
Because it is a cinematic movie that belongs in a cinema.
I think I see where you're getting at there.
Scorsese.
Anyway.
How does that same kind of ideal affect now? Does it really matter if Robert Downey Jr. was in the Iron Man costume?
Ooh, that's so hard though.
Does it matter if Chris Evans was Captain America?
Here's the thing. So going back to that, I see Val Kilmer's perspective, because back in the 90s, it didn't matter because everyone and anyone, by Val Kilmer's time, how many people, you had Michael Keaton portrayed Batman, you had Adam West in the old movie and TV show. Past Val Kilmer, you got George Clooney. You've had multiple, and back in the 90s, comic book movies weren't a big thing. We didn't care as much. But what Marvel has done since that time, and I think what DC is trying to catch up with at this point, and what I actually think they did pretty well with the Nolan Batman movies, honestly, is that I will use your Iron Man as an example. Can anybody else be in the armor besides Robert Downey Jr.? It's going to be a hard sell. It's a hard sell now because what Marvel has done successfully, and again, what DC is trying to catch up on now, is they've put that character out front. You know the character of Tony Stark over, say, that of the Iron Man suit. And to their credit, that's pretty much what Iron Man 3 was about, was that Tony Stark was Iron Man, not the suit. You even hear him kind of reprise that phrase a little bit in Spider-Man Homecoming. If you're nothing without the suit, you shouldn't have it. Tony Stark was Iron Man. Therefore, by proxy, Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man because Tony Stark was Robert Downey Jr.
Well, he even said he was Iron Man at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, and then you even... Yeah, I mean, yes, blatantly you have that. I am Iron Man. So if you look at what Kilmer is saying, for his time period, that's definitely true. It's Batman. I'm looking at Batman. Now I'm looking at Iron Man, but I'm also looking at Robert Downey Jr., who is a superstar. You look at Chris Evans. Chris Evans right now is Captain America. These are two roles where can we see anybody taking over them? I don't know. You're going to have to find a way to reboot those roles eventually. But you're not going to have Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans because by the time you do that, they're going to be too old. Chris Evans will look exactly as he did at the end of Endgame.
And that's why I think it's a matter of how you attack those roles. Going back to, say, Christopher Nolan's Batman movies.
Yeah.
Did you really care that it was Christian Bale as Batman?
Kind of, actually, yeah, because of what the setup they did in Batman Begins.
In some cases,
they spent
yes.
half the movie on Bruce Wayne, showing you his line of reasoning, his thinking, where he came from, and why he's becoming Batman. Yeah, you care about Christian Bale as Batman in that case. For those movies. But those movies also had a complete storyline that ended with Dark Knight Rises, and so we're okay now with a new Batman.
Yeah.
That's the problem, though, with Ben Affleck to Robert Pattinson, is because we don't have that completion with Ben Affleck, and it's like, okay, so what's Batman now? It's its own thing. They have to separate Batman from the rest of the DCEU.
Which, the tackling that they have to do on that is going after the audience who already has the mindset is the DCEU's Batman is Ben Affleck.
Batfleck.
Now, granted, yes, this movie supposedly, last I heard, or whatever, the jumble, I don't know, messes.
It's going to be raw.
Is that, besides that, is that this movie is supposedly in the DCEU, but it's before, it's like right at the beginning of Batman's career. Like,
is that what they came out with saying? Because I still hear that it's
I remember
separate.
hearing that like years ago. I don't know.
I still hear that I hear that's completely separate. It's not attached to DCU, and it's not attached to Joker.
The DC movie universe at this point is such a huge mess.
Which, here's the thing, they can get away with it if they do what they're doing with those TV shows, which I haven't been watching or following, which is the whole the multiverse type stuff. You can get away with it that way, and then you can bring in the proper whoever you want to be the proper Batman and the proper whoever and this person. And now we've got these are the ones you want to follow now.
But I'm not expecting to see like a movie version of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
No.
Like that, no. I can't accept DC as it is right now. I'm not going to accept a multiverse.
You saw how much they fast-tracked Justice League. I wouldn't put it past them to put a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie.
And
the only reason why they
terrible.
won't, it will be. The only reason why they won't is because they're doing it in TV right now. And it's going to confuse the mess out of people. Like, you're doing it in the movies too. But also, they had some of their movie characters in the multiverse. I believe Ezra
Flash.
Miller.
Yeah, Ezra Miller was in the Crisis on Infinite. So,
this is why I'm not. I'm excited for Wonder Woman. I think it's gonna be great because the trailer alone made it look good. But as far as like caring about the DCEU as a whole,
see, that's
we're good at rabbit trails here, by the way.
Yeah, the the thing that I would have liked, Marvel was close. Marvel's the closest I've ever seen anyone doing this. There might have been some other franchise that actually did do this, Star Trek, besides Star Trek, that having a movie franchise and a TV franchise where the two can act independently, but they still influence one another.
Yeah.
Marvel was close with the Netflix shows and with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And they're going to start doing it now.
I want to see that. The thing is unfortunately, we've already had like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. All those are swept aside.
I will say Star Wars is actually doing it pretty effectively also.
Now.
Yeah, now that we're actually getting Star Wars TV. I mean, Mandalorian being the first live-action Star Wars TV show. It
used to be you couldn't put any, like, going back to the 90s, the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s, you couldn't have Sandman or Electro in the cartoon because they were going to be used in the live-action movies, and people were afraid they were going to get it confused. People were afraid they were going to get an animated cartoon on Saturday morning confused with a live-action movie in a theater.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I do like Kilmer's comments, though, based on that time, because you have these kids coming to set. He's right, in a sense, because those kids didn't care about necessarily who it was portraying Batman. They cared about everything that was about Batman being around. They enjoyed being in the world of Batman. We want to put on the cowl, we want to put on the cape, we want to sit in the Batmobile. I want to be in the world of Batman. I don't care who's in the costume, necessarily. And for that time period, that is exactly what superhero movies were. I don't care who's in the costume. Now, audiences want that character. They want more character in what they're watching because they want to identify. They want to connect with these superhero characters that they see on screen more. They want to put themselves in the shoes of these superheroes so that maybe they can relate and feel like a superhero themselves during that time. I want to see Iron Man have issues with alcohol. I want to see him have to face real world struggles of I love this woman, I want to be married to her, but how do I convince her to love me while I'm still going out and risking my life every single time I do an Avengers mission?
Yeah.
Character drives a lot, and that's exactly where superheroes need to go. Character-driven work is where superhero movies needed to go. And it's honestly why I do consider superhero films cinema, because you still get that character work in there.
Yeah, especially now. Now that we've seen how dominant superhero movies are, you have to make them something worth going to the movie theater for. You have to make it cinematic.
It gives them a great story.
You can't do a one-off, well, Batman beat the villain in this last movie, he's good to go until a villain pops up in the next movie. No, you have to make... And that Marvel has well surpassed that. Easily.
Yeah, look at where we are now. You can't have a movie like Joker work in the 90s.
And I wouldn't have thought it would.
It wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have thought it worked now, but it did.
Yeah, we hear Joker movie coming a couple years ago, and we're like, why? Why are you doing this? We watched the movie, and we're like, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was a real good movie.
Yeah.
So, that's the difference. Highlight and address maybe some of these comments before we get into the Schmoedown stuff.
Yeah, Garth McMurray.
I drank a beer.
Grab me one too.
No, I drank a beer.
Oh, I'll say, well, grab me one on your way back.
I'm not going to grab you one of what I'm doing now.
So, Garth, my first live action Captain America was Red Brown. Oh, so you got to enjoy the motorcycle helmet Captain America. Oof. What you've seen of Wonder Woman 84 is so great. Yeah, that's good to hear because I'm excited for that one. I really am eager to see Kristen Wiig as Cheetah because that doesn't make sense. Like, when I first heard she was playing Cheetah, I was like, I don't know how well that's going to do, but, like, I'm eager to see what they do with her. Here's the thing. Like, Kilmer took over Batman for that one week. I do have kind of like the, what's it called when you have an opinion about something that the popular opinion is not that, but you actually do like it. Kilmer was probably one of my favorite Batmen ever. Just because I like his acting was good. He looked good as Bruce Wayne and Batman. I like Keaton, but Keaton was a little too scrawny, I would say, in my opinion, for Batman. He did a fantastic Bruce Wayne, but I don't think he was that big for Batman. So I did like Val Kilmer, but the other reason that I really like Val Kilmer's opinion on this is because he bowed out at the perfect time. Because if Val Kilmer was in the next Batman movie, that would have sucked.
Infinity Gauntlet. Look, I'm a nice brother. Uh-oh. I'm not that nice. I can't do it at this angle. I have to put it in. There we go. There you go.
Oh, and that was on camera, too. That was so embarrassing.
That's like the only time I can never open a beer bottle. Of course it was on camera.
He actually is a fantastic brother, and he can open a beer bottle.
Look, a nice thing to do for people is to open a drink for them.
Yeah. Anyways,
typically you do that for a lady, but I'm doing that for my brother.
Kilmer got out at the right time.
Sorry, what now? Oh, Val Kilmer. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ducked, dipped, dived, and dodged.
Cutter says he saw Inception for the first time, and holy crap.
Just now? Just recently?
Well, I mean, probably not just now. He's watching us.
Well, yeah. He's watching Inception, Dude, yeah, no, Inception is actually really fantastic.
That's one of those movies you have to go back and watch it again. That movie takes a couple of viewings, I guess, to like fully comprehend, but at the same time,
I mean, the entire movie is exposition.
Yeah, that's one of those movies I think you almost discover something new about it almost every time you watch it.
The entire movie, they're explaining to you what's happening in the movie while the movie's on.
But for some reason, like I know when I watched the multiple times I've seen it, I'm not able to fully catch that. I just have to go along with the ride. They explain it to you, but they force you just to continue moving on, and you're strapped in with it.
I'm in it. Yeah. Inception is one of my favorite Nolan movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're good with Kilmer, right? We want to move on to the Schmoedown talk.
Yes.
Because we're in it now. We're deep, and we've got a lot to cover.
So real quick, the Zipper Stacey Howard match. That was a good match.
Good match.
Stacey Howard, fantastic at guessing. I want to see a Stacey Howard versus Josh McCouga all guess off.
Guess off, yeah.
But yeah, Stacey Howard, she's racking up these nicknames. She's the queen of guessing. She is the bracket buster.
The wheel killer.
The wheel killer. Like when we put up that video, I put I think it was in our description. I put that she was the wheel killer and bracket buster. Now I gotta put queen of guessing the next time she does it. So Thanks, Stacey, for giving yourself another title.
Anyway, that was a good match. Let's move on from that.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Garth says, fun fact, Cutter's asleep on a plane right now, and I'm in his mind making this reality. In the real world, Robert and Chris are in the quirky Mercs. If only.
Other fun fact, I'm teamed up with Kevin Smith and not with my brother.
Look, I would take the hit. Honestly. Again, we talk about being a good brother. Look, if I had to duck out so that he could be teamed up with Kevin Smith, I'm going to be a manager now.
Yeah.
I'm going to manage the reaction faction that Garth keeps talking about. You're not going to be on it. You're with Kevin Smith.
Yeah, and our team's name is Clerks.
Oh. Okay, we're getting into it now. First off, those of you, I know everyone in the chat right now knows Schmoedown. Those of you watching on a replay, if you don't know what Schmoedown is, we say this every time. It's basically if wrestling mix that with movie trivia competition.
What if they don't know what wrestling is?
Wrestling is a sport. In this case, has storylines that have factions and rivalries and all this kind of fun stuff that go along with competition aspect. The competition aspect in the case of the Schmoedown is
movie trivia.
Is real. And is movie trivia. So it's really fun.
Yeah, the storyline is built around the movie trivia.
Yeah, there's rankings, all sorts of fun stuff. Now, that was your quick run course on Schmoedown. Go check it out. Movie Trivia Schmoedown, Schmoedown Entertainment Network. Go check it out. Trust us. Moving on.
Cutter said Robert is with Smith. Chris is with Jericho.
I would not complain. here's the thing. I'm not a wrestling guy, so I don't have the attachment to Chris Jericho as a lot of people who are wrestling people who do. I'm not going to complain about that still, though. Chris Jericho being in the Schmoedown is sick.
Yeah. So that would partner with what Garth said. Robert is with Robert Montano and a team Reaction Roberts.
And
so
I'll be Vanessa.
You would be partnered with Chris Jericho. Y'all would be Team Chris.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, let's talk about this real quick because we're talking about the free agent signings that happened.
Well, so before that, Christian threw down a gauntlet real quick. It was right after our tagline last week.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he announced, "Hey, by the way, all of you managers, you need to make drops, otherwise your team's frozen. You have to make drops by Friday.
Make your drops, make your trades, pick up some people.
Yeah, make trades, make drops, do this by Friday. Free agents, time for y'all to start pushing. Y'all need to start making a giant push towards having managers pick you up to be on their team." And so that's what led into this giant whirlwind of chaos that has been happening over this past week. Again, might I remind you, I've also been really sick during this too.
It was a heck of a week for me to do a reaction solo. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So
not that anyone was paying attention to that specific reaction, but still. It's the theory behind it.
So the thing with given what our availability is to sit down and film stuff and then edit it and whatnot, we had basically Thursday. We had planned. We hashed out what managers would potentially be good for us.
Yeah. So we did that based on
who had open spots.
Stepping back, who had open spots at that time, who seemed more feasible in how they operated their teams, what they were saying, and who they were looking for on their teams. That we figured these are the managers that we will try to appeal to, essentially.
Yeah.
At the time, Roxy didn't make any sense. At that time, she had one spot open on her team. Obviously, she had room to drop somebody, but she seemed like somebody who's more into sticking with people who are local, aside from, say, Jim Vevita. But for the most part, she wanted to work with people locally.
And some of these were also based off of what personal connections we've made with these managers. Some of these, Kaiser and Kate, we've made personal connections.
Yeah.
We could say hi to them. They know who we are. We didn't. So therefore, especially for those two, we didn't feel the need to make a video.
Kaiser was somebody who had maybe one spot on his team that he was
too, but
he didn't drop anybody. Did he? No, he dropped somebody. He did drop somebody, but...
Oh, yes, he did. He dropped one person.
But he also... can't remember.
Villa Lobos or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
I know he picked up Andres Gallegos.
Yeah.
Which... I know Nerd Chronic, Eric Rodriguez recommended him, so that was a good... based on Eric Rodriguez's recommendation, that's a good pickup.
Mm-hmm.
If your editor for the Schmoedown recognizes, he knows.
Well, Andre has also been doing a lot of the question writing for the Video Chronic pop culture quizzes, so...
Yeah, so, that's somebody that you do... Somebody who knows trivia, knows movie trivia, knows answer stuff. Yeah, you want that on your team. We didn't approach Kaiser, even though we are big Dungeon fans here, and the Dungeon is one of our top picks, essentially, of wanting to be a part of.
Yeah, Kaiser knows who we are. He knows what we're capable of doing. He knows us already. If he wants to pick us, that was up to him to.
Yeah, that was the same.
We tagged him in a Twitter thing, and that was it.
I know Kaiser definitely said that he wants people coming to him. We also have that relationship at this point built up with Kaiser where he knows us, he recognizes us. If he wasn't saying we want those guys, we knew we weren't going to be with Kaiser regardless. So didn't make a video for Kaiser. Kate, we had already been on C2A. We tried to make an appeal to Kate through Call to Action and their Chill to Action with Kate. She very firmly stated she was looking for a female competitor, one competitor and a female competitor for her team. So obviously neither one of us are one competitors, nor are we female.
But it's, well, anyways,
shut up.
Also, the, kind of the same thing. Kate knows who we are. She knows of us. She knows we're available. She knows, how we know movie. She's aware of our movie knowledge.
Yeah.
If she wants us, she
watched us play along, essentially, during the Spectacular.
She knew to reach out to us. Here's the thing. Not to be conceited or whatever, but a lot of these free agents, especially the ones that got picked up, They didn't tweet out to...
They didn't tweet, but they were having personal messages back and forth with all the managers.
But a lot of them were, like, the managers just outright saw their name on the free agent list and then quickly looked them up, like, on Twitter and reached out to them.
Sort of.
But a lot of them that
some of them definitely were having personal conversations for a while with some of those managers.
Yeah, but you didn't see that public tweet like, "Hey, choose me, pick me, pick me." What movie is that from? Right. But so yeah, you didn't see a lot of that from the people who were picked, but that's because they were already in. Same kind of like what I'm saying with Kaiser and Kate. Yeah. Kaiser and Kate already knew who we were. They were aware of us. If they wanted us, they'd come get us. They knew we would want to go to them.
On the flip side, we also have Winston, who we didn't really make an appeal to because at that time he only had, I think, one spot open on his team, or if maybe he didn't have any. He either had one or he had none, and so it didn't really make sense to reach out to him because we weren't sure at that point whether he was going to drop players or not. It only made sense to appeal to the ones that we felt like were either going to drop players or we knew had the spots open. Because they would have to pick us up as a team. It's a hard sell if you're trying to say, hey, I know you got a full roster. Drop some people to pick us up as a team. We're unproven in the Schmoedown. You've had a match as part of Only Stupid Answers 1.5. We've done reactions. That's it. That's all we've got. So we are unproven in the Schmoedown. So it's going to be a hard sell to try to pick us up as a team. So that's why we had to make choices based on the time constraint, too. Because you're looking at a situation where by tomorrow night, we're here on Thursday. We got to shoot these videos. By tomorrow night, the managers have to drop players. They need to know that we're out here as a team and we're ready. So they got to know that
they're like, holy crap, I got to drop 2 people to potentially make room to pick up 2 people.
Yeah. So we had to make choices.
Because we're pretty much only available as a team.
At this point, right now,
not like Robert and Vanessa from Late to the Party that could easily split.
They're also a lot closer to LA.
And that was the main point that I think that we had with it is, like, Robert and Vanessa are in Arizona. It's easy for them to hop in the car and...
A 5-hour drive.
Well, maybe not easy, but I would say a lot easier than it is to go from Austin, Texas.
A 5-hour drive is much easier than a 22-hour drive.
Yes. So, therefore, if they need to quickly go out to LA, they can do that.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot easier for them to be split up. Us, on the other hand, and that's part of the downside, and it's part of the reason why we were not picked up, why we haven't been picked up. It's probably the major reason why we haven't been picked up.
We're in Austin.
We're in Austin, Texas. And especially right now, travel is extremely hard.
Who
who knows when it's going to get easy again.
By July, let's say they actually do want to get back into the studio by July. First of all, they're not doing teams virtually because that's an entire headache to try to figure out how you do that. It would work for us because obviously we're in the same location, so we can do the conferring with each other personally. Everyone else would have to figure out how, okay, I'm on the phone, I got to mute this, I got to do this, under the 15-second time constraint. No, Teams is not going to work virtually. It's just not. So we would have to actually show up and be in person in the studio in order for us to compete as a team. Right now, flying to LA for the rest of this year, that's up in the air.
Which was a fantastic movie starring George Clooney and Anna Kendrick, and
it was also a really
Vera Farmiga.
It's also a really good pun I just made.
Yes, it was.
So I understand why people are hesitant about picking us up. Now, if it's possible, they start shooting in the studio. It is possible. Hey, hop on a plane, wear a mask while you're on the plane. Don't worry about it. You're good. Wash your hands. Come to the studio. Let's shoot. Cool. That works out great.
Oh, I'll wear a mask all over the dang place if I can be on the Schmoedown again.
Absolutely, 100%. We'll do all the safety measures.
That was so much fun.
Do all the safety measures necessary to get there. We don't know what travel looks like right now, so that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the reality of this. Like, and going into this, yeah, we could play up and be funny and do as much as we can, but I mean, to be honest with ourselves, we knew going into this, this is gonna be a problem.
Yeah, it would be a risk for somebody to pick us up. That's why we honed it down to, hey, we've got Coy, we've got Shannon, and we've got Sam. Yeah. Sam had 4 spots open on his team. It made all the sense in the world to try to reach out to him and try to encourage him to pick us up. He's got spots. He's got open spots. Shannon still would have had to drop somebody to pick us up, but I'm trying to make the appeal based on the Texas side of things and that we as individuals who were shunned and not even nominated in
We
reaction.
didn't even get nominated for an after show reactor podcast. How did we not get a nomination for after show podcast? Oh, am I taking it too personal?
Yeah, you're in it right now. I'm not in it.
Oh, okay.
We didn't get nominated. We didn't get picked up in the draft.
We didn't get picked up in the second draft like 2 days later over Twitter.
Yeah, over Twitter. So we essentially have this big old chip right here on our shoulders at this point. And so it's easy to convince, hey, we can be very corruptible. If you want us to be corruptible, we can be corruptible. We are capable of that right now.
Oh, corrupt the heck out of the Schmoedown. That doesn't sound right when I can't cuss.
Please stop right now. Anyway, so we tried to appeal to Shannon. Coy, we know Coy at this point a little bit more on a personal basis because we did that action movie Anatomy with him. We've had several interactions with him. And let's be honest, our personalities kind of fit the quirky mercs.
Yeah.
They do. So that would have made all the sense in the world for Coy. So we made those appeals. Here's the thing. Coy wanted Kevin Smith.
Yeah. So behind the scenes, Coy was busy working on securing Kevin Smith. He had 2 spots available?
Yeah.
So if he picked up both of us, he would have no room for Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
So instead of picking up 2 people that, and he said that
he's got some things working.
Yeah, he told us before he had stuff working that he's probably not going to go in our direction.
But if those things fell through, then we would be somebody that he would contact.
Yeah. And then he told us after everything was revealed that he would have been honored to have us on his team.
You can see this on Twitter.
Yeah, that he would have been honored to have us on his team, but he was in the process of trying to secure Kevin Smith.
Now, here's the thing. I'm sure there's a lot of players that Coy had on his mind during that time. Not just us. We were in this shuffle somewhere.
Completely understandable. It was a long list.
But I think it can't be overstated that we were denied a chance to be on the Quirky Mercs so that Coy could have Kevin Smith. We were denied for Kevin Smith. That's freaking cool.
Yeah.
I'm completely okay with that.
I will take that. That's perfectly fine.
If you're going to deny me for Kevin Smith?
Yes.
For sure. Go for it.
If it's even me, if I had the choice, I pick either me or Kevin Smith, I'm like, oh, go pick Kevin Smith.
Go with Kevin Smith.
Only one of you could live. It's either you or Kevin Smith. Oh, go choose Kevin Smith.
Here's the thing. Obviously, there might have been some other people who could have been chosen over us still. There might have been several choices between us and Kevin Smith. That's not the point.
And I'm
the point.
Completely not looking at this self-centered at all.
Not the point. The point is that we were not chosen and Kevin Smith was.
Yeah, it's just pure simple facts.
That's kind of a cool thing. I like thinking about it. We weren't chosen. Kevin Smith was.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in contention with Kevin Smith. Dope.
Now, here's the thing. Overall, we're still free agents.
Still.
Yeah.
We're still free agents.
Which means that we can still compete. We're just not competing for a faction. If we win, there's no faction that's getting points off of us.
And here's the thing. Under normal circumstances, I would have said maybe a free agent team gets a match during regular normal season.
Yeah, right now, no. Who knows?
Given the pandemic, probably
not.
There's no chance. There's no chance any free agents are going to get play outside of it's hard enough trying to get everybody who's on a faction to get a match this season.
Yeah.
Nobody who's a free agent is going to get a match. Let's be honest about it.
But the fact is eventually at some point we could get a match.
Yeah.
And that you have someone like Kevin Smith or Chris Jericho now in.
Well, let's even say that we get picked up come draft time this next go around.
Yeah. There's a chance we could eventually be playing Chris Jericho or Kevin Smith.
Which, to be honest,
if you thought I chose the wrong chair before,
yeah, I'm gonna sit in whatever chair my mind says. Just sit in that one. You're playing Kevin Smith.
I'm sitting in the chair back in the audience where I came from.
Easy for you to say.
Kinda.
Here's the thing: we are two random Who's It brothers in the middle of Texas, Austin, Texas. We just decided to start a YouTube channel, talk about movies. We're obviously into the Schmoedown, so we're talking about Schmoedown. And we have a chance at some point in the future, maybe over the next year or so, that it's plausible that we could foresee ourselves being in a match seated across the table from Chris Jericho and or Kevin Smith.
That's the fact that
What?
The fact that that's possible is weird.
What?
Yeah. That's just odd.
Oh.
Now, what's funny about that, and I was thinking about this earlier, is for public knowledge, you have Rachel Silverstream she's doing the biggest happy dance of all time.
I don't think she has stopped screaming since this happened.
She's probably still dancing as of right now, this second.
Mm-hmm.
Because she is a huge Kevin Smith fan.
She's a Smith head.
I have been wanting to play Silverstream like in an exhibition match or something on Kevin Smith movies. Because I love Kevin Smith movies.
I gotta tell you guys, that would be a really good match. That would be like a match of the year type match.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I've wanted to play her so bad. And now that Kevin Smith is actually in the league, she's like, I want to play Kevin Smith at Kevin Smith movies. She wants to play him at his own movies. In the meantime, I'm over here still like, can I play you? And she's like, Kevin Smith, I want to play. Who are you?
Now, obviously, we know Rachel. She's not gonna be like, "Who are you?"
Rachel's awesome, but
you're looking at the line of order. Kevin's. I mean, how about you do a handicap match, you and Rachel versus Kevin Smith at his own movies? That would be.
I would say yes, but here's the thing.
I would love that. I would love to watch that.
The thing I know about Rachel is she wants to play Kevin Smith because she wants to see her knowledge versus his,
and that's
just straight up her knowledge.
And that's true.
Yeah,
give her dream. Let Rachel be in a match with Kevin Smith. That alone is amazing to see.
Yeah.
Regardless, we have a situation right now where the Schmoedown is growing to the point where you have the likes of Chris Jericho, you have Kevin Smith, you even have Doug Benson in here now. Oof. You have these people who have some notoriety behind them. They are now in the Schmoedown, and they're now going to be competing in the Schmoedown. And you look at a situation like us where we weren't picked up by any team. We weren't drafted. We weren't drafted the first time around. We weren't drafted this in the free agent.
Second time.
We weren't drafted in the free agent picking. And I don't care. I do care. I want to play.
I want to play. I want to play again. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but don't care because you're looking at here is the growth of the league. We love this league. We love the Schmoedown. We love seeing the growth. We don't play, but Kevin Smith and Chris Jericho do because that is the growth of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yes. Totally for that. Don't give me a match this year.
Yeah.
Completely okay. Completely fine.
Well, let's see. We either give Robert or Chris Adams a match, or we'll give Kevin Smith a match.
Who are we?
While we're trying to build
Who are we?
The movie trivia Schmoedown, who's going to be a bigger name?
Yeah. So, that being said, 2021.
Oh.
We're coming with a fire.
Oh, yeah.
Phrasing.
How's that phrasing?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Use Tux medicated pads for that.
God.
Puts the flames out. You remember those old school commercials where the Tux medicated pad
What
would
is happening right now? What is happening right now?
You don't remember these?
What is happening right now?
I don't know.
So the rest of the free agent signing, though, getting off of just that stuff, there were some really good pickups here. I mean, we have some unknowns. I mean, obviously, we ourselves haven't seen Andres Gallegos. Say it like
compete.
White person. We haven't seen compete yet. We got a fan leaguer. Is that Adam Collins? Is that his name?
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype around him. I mean, you look at everybody who participates in the fan leagues, and they're going, yes, yes.
Now, is he the one, if I remember correctly, he just started in the fan leagues.
Not too long ago, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't even made it, like, high up in the ranks, and already he's just jumping straight into the Schmoedown. That's scary. If you haven't even, like, say...
And he's somebody who was in contact with Shannon for quite a while, which is why she went with him.
You look back at the people who've gone from the fan leagues and have made that jump to the big time.
Chance, Oyama.
Smets. They've been...
Parker.
Yeah, they've been, like, either, like, the fan league belt holders, or they've been of massive notoriety.
They got a lot of hype
in the fan leagues.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'll be perfectly honest. We don't really follow the fan leagues that much.
It's too much content.
We've got a lot we've got to do as this.
I do not disrespect the fan leagues. I just
At
don't,
all.
I just don't have time to watch them.
Yeah. But when we know of these people without watching the fan leagues,
Parker.
Especially Robert Parker.
Yeah.
That's impressive. We know of these people before they come.
It means something.
Yeah. So the fact that this person has not even, as far as I can tell, gotten that far in the fan leagues, hasn't gone up for like a championship or a belt, or
That's scary.
Yeah,
that's scary, and that's definitely. I mean, you're looking at a situation where that's what corruption needs right now. They need somebody who they can look at and be like, yeah, that person's gonna dominate. That person's gonna do well for us.
Speaking of scary, so you got Perry Nemiroff.
Nice.
Was chosen as
a quirky merc.
So that was the one that that Coy was going after.
Mm-hmm.
That he wanted to at least solidify her, which makes sense.
Yeah.
She's played before. Hasn't been the strongest contender, but the thing is,
she's got an itch.
She's got an itch, and she stays on top of like at least current movies as they come.
She'd be good at new releases anyway.
So we went to South by last year. She was at South by reviewing every movie as it premiered at South by last year. No South by this year, but she was there last year.
Bring the mood down.
I know.
We didn't see her last year because she was so busy watching the movie and then going and doing a review.
Yeah. So like we saw Mance, we saw Jim Veveta.
Easy for you to say.
I can't pronounce it either.
You can pronounce normal words.
Yeah. I saw Haley Fouch last year.
Yeah, Haley was there.
But
especially during Us.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Perry Coy was on backstage today. He talked about it. Perry is a good fit for them. Perry's going to actually do pretty well on the Mercs. I expect good things out of her this time around. Who else got picked up? You're looking at, I mean, obviously you got Jericho and Smith.
You've got, so you got, the other big one was Sabrina Ramirez.
Yeah. Sabrina, who we all honestly thought was going to the Den, because if you watch SCN Live, Kate was the first one to be like, you're mine, I'll take you. You want to play? You're on the Den. And that was the first thing we ever heard about Sabrina even competing, was Kate going, you're mine. So we all figured she'd go for the Den.
And she's been on a couple of things, but she really hasn't shown too much movie knowledge.
Outside of what she does on the first cut.
Yeah. Other than that, who knows how much she actually knows.
If you don't watch the first cut, all you watch is, say, SCN Live and the Schmoedown. Yeah, it's like Ben Goddard. You don't know, and yes, I mentioned him specifically for a reason.
Yeah.
You don't know what their knowledge is until they show it in competition. But from what I hear, she is coming to play, and she actually does know some pretty good stuff. So it's no surprise when you think about it that way that she ends up with Gucci.
Yeah. So, I mean, that makes complete sense.
And of course, Tom Dagnino would. Leave that alone.
Yeah.
But
no, you. Come here.
Yeah. But say, watching backstage today, you hear his line of reasoning, how he approached picking her up, and the way he approached it. He was talking about the fact that even after her first call, everybody on the Finstock Exchange essentially was contacting her and talking her through the whole process. She felt like she was a part of a family joining that faction. And so it seemed like it was a pretty easy decision for her to join the Finstock Exchange. And honestly, I'm not mad at that signing, because I think, especially all the things that you're hearing about Barbarian right now and how he is becoming essentially the glue that is holding that team together. He is supporting everyone. He is helping everyone with every part of, say, their gameplay, what they know. That team, while it started out at the beginning of this season with fourth round Roka and all of that, it seemed like it was going to implode.
Yeah.
I feel like that team is actually very strong. They are very strong knit, because they can go through these situations of controversy and be like, guys, we're good. We're not, nothing's happening here. And so that seems like a team where somebody like Sabrina, who's like, I'm just in this to win and to show off that I'm good. I know what I know, and I can be fantastic at this. That is the greed is good model of the Finstock Exchange. She wants the gold. She's going for the gold. She's a good fit for Finstock Exchange.
The other big one that I feel like was a major disappointment is we saw another team split apart. And we mentioned this earlier. Late to the Party has been torn apart and the party is over, unfortunately. So...
The party is over. God, that makes me want to cry.
Yeah. So I'm trying to quickly go through...
So you got Montano on Usual Suspects and you got Vanessa's over on The Den.
Yeah. Which is going to be awesome because eventually, hopefully, that means we're going to see a Robert versus Vanessa. A Late to the Party Civil War.
Which we still haven't gotten our Wildberry Civil War yet.
No, we were going... Apparently, I guess we were going to have that.
We'll see if that happens or not.
That live event was unfortunately canceled for some weird reason. I don't know why.
Was that going to be at a live event?
I think it was going to be at a live event.
I don't know. I talked about it being at Houston, but it wasn't going to be at Houston.
I would have loved to see drunk Makuga and drunk Dewberry in a ring at Houston. Would have been fantastic. That wasn't going to be the Houston match, but
do they get a cage match?
Yeah, we know what the Houston matches were going to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. The Late to the Party splitting up is another sad. Like, I love this whole draft, this whole faction thing, but man, is it causing some heartbreak.
It's tugging at the heartstrings here. We lost the Wildberries.
Movie Guys, Looney Bin, Late to the Party.
Like, jeez.
We're going to split up the Cinema Fanatics before they even have a chance to play as a team.
Yeah, I did. At this point, I think that was probably the only way we could go into the league.
It might be.
So,
which is fine. You get picked up. I'm still hopping on that plane and traveling with you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about that.
That was the other thing. If one of us goes to LA, the other one's going too.
We're still traveling as a duo. I'm not foregoing a chance to be at a live taping.
No, not at all.
Garth brings up Scott Mance is being picked up by the Droogs. That's actually a good pickup. Here's the thing. And let's be honest. We'll do a little backstage for us real quick because I know we do a lot in front of the camera in a kayfabe situation.
Yeah.
I want to do a little backstage. Love Burnett.
Oh, yeah.
That dude is killing the game right now, and no one expected him to.
Yeah.
Can we clip this out and also send it to him? Because I'm not sure right now that he recognizes that.
We've had enough interaction with Burnett. He knows we absolutely adore him.
Yeah.
We respect him. He's a fantastic person.
He's a great personality.
Yeah.
Screw that guy.
Kayfabe. That guy.
Screw that guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you said screw? Oh, okay. I'm just trying to say another word, but...
No, nobody expected him to do well at this game, and he's actually making real good... Frank put it in the chat during backstage today. He's the manager who's making Moneyball moves without knowing that he's making Moneyball moves. He is playing the long game. He's playing next year with his multiple first-round draft picks now. He's playing the potentiality of this year, keeping JTE on the team.
Which I'm wondering, would he be playing that same game right now if it had not been for the current pandemic? Is he someone that's like, there's a pandemic going on, you know what? Screw this year, I'm going to worry about next year.
Maybe, and that's a smart choice. That is a smart move. Because, I mean, in trades, he gave up his third-round draft pick.
But he got an extra first-round draft pick.
He's got 2 first-round draft picks. He's still got his second round.
So who cares about his third round at that point?
He's got 2 first rounds and second round. Who cares about your third round? You're getting your third round in the first round. So, or he's getting his third round in the second round. He's getting first and second round in the first round. He's making smart moves. He's got Brandon Hanna traded for James White. Who knows if James White's going to play this year? Maybe if singles is done virtually, then yeah, James White gets play. But he picked up Brandon Hanna, who is a good contender for the Inner Geekdom division. Smart move. He traded off Ethan Irwin, which seems like a stupid move, because Ethan Irwin is a powerhouse at this game. But he traded him for Jader and Ken. Jader's already shown good, strong contention for...
He's already won a match.
Yeah, already won a match. He's going to have good, strong contention when he's able to play again. Ken is going to do well at Star Wars because Ken is a veteran of that league.
Yeah.
Possibly better, I should say, than Josh Quevedo, who hasn't played yet, who knows how he's going to be. And so, you got Josh Quevedo traded over to the Rockstars. He picked up JTE for that. We don't know if JTE is going to play or not. But he did pick up JTE in the case of, hey, if singles goes virtual, JTE is going to get a match. If it doesn't, studio play, JTE can travel. I still got JTE. I've got JTE on my team.
Yeah.
So he's got some good stuff going on.
So here's the thing.
And he picked up Mance.
Yeah. Which here's the thing. Our personal connection to Mance. He is the first Schmoedown competitor we ever met in person in real life at South by last year. Yeah, and it was completely by accident, and I absolutely love that. I love the by accident ones. If you want to read through the chats, I'm going to go take a quick break as well, or if you want to start going through maybe some of the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, be right back.
Got this. Garth JTE for Josh Quevedo called the Josh swap. That's actually pretty good. Let's see. Let me go through some of these real quick. Gar says, my joke is that Scott Mance and Brandon Hanna are in a faction together, so they should form a team called the Hot Mance. As funny as that is, and as much as I like that, I think it's known that Christian would lose his mind over that. I don't know why Christian is against the Hot Man. That's just a fun little nickname some of the audience has. It's not going to stick for an actual nickname for him, but it's fun. It's fun. So Roxy, in her interview with Sabrina, revealed that she took Sabrina past the dropping people deadline. She wouldn't have gotten Chris Jericho. It's true. I mean, Roxy made the right decision in that case. She took a risk, took a chance. It paid off for her. And I say that without seeing Chris Jericho play yet. It seems like Jericho's going to have some pretty good knowledge. So I think that was actually a good play, especially since he's not going to be a one-off. He's actually going to play a couple matches. At least. They had Josh Wildman Makuga of Swag versus Elliott the Mountain Dew Brave of Corruption in singles schedule, but not at a live event. Yeah. Knew that match was going to happen. It's just a matter of when, and now that this whole situation happened, I don't know if we see that match this year. Which is fine. That really builds up, I think, the hype for that match. Which I think already had enough hype as it is, but I can't wait to see that go down, especially because we got the Wildberries have to come back together. They just have to. I mean, that team sells merchandise. Who would have guessed that Corruption would be in the last place, but the Burning Jigs in your top? That's true. That's true. I mean, you have a team like Corruption. They got Mike and Chance. Mike and Chance are top league players right now. They're going to come in whenever teams comes back, if teams can come back, and they're going to dominate in teams. And they're going to dig Corruption out of this hole. Droogs, the year is still young. I think like we were saying, Burnett is playing the long game. He's setting up for almost every contention. He said on backstage earlier, he's got Cybold and Duralde. They're a good team. Teams comes back, he's got a team that he can trust and move forward with. Singles, he's got a lot of good singles players. He's got Mance, he's got Cybold and Duralde. They both can play singles if they need to. He's got Paramo, who is starting to show after his first match he can be a good contender too. So, and he's even got JT. Should JT be able to fly? You got that. So Burnett really is set up all the way around. He's got picks for next draft. He's good. The Droogs are going to be set for no matter what happens. Brandon Buckingham says, coming in to say hi. Hey, Brandon. Thanks for showing up. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Glad you're here. What if? Yeah, Garth says there should be another what if match of the Wildberries versus Late to the Party.
The Wild Party match.
Do a what if as if, say, Late to the Party wins that time.
So they did do the Wildberries versus Late to the Party, and what if Late to the Party won that match?
Yeah. Hey, your cat thinks we're done.
Yeah.
You got up and she thinks we're done.
Oh, no, I scared the crap out of her a second ago. She was in the bathroom.
Nice. Hey, we're not done. Go away.
Well, at least she's still quiet.
We're almost done. Yeah. And we haven't even talked really about the freaking tournaments, man.
The tournament's coming.
We're gonna go a little bit longer, guys. We're gonna stick with this though. Let's run through those tournaments real quick.
The tournament's coming. They're gonna be really impressive. I guess the entire Star Wars tournament's gonna be on Twitch.
Yeah.
And then you got the Inner Geekdom tournament that's also starting.
We were wondering if we were going to be able to react to the Star Wars tournament on Twitch. We are. You can get videos from Twitch. You can watch them. They're not going to be just live only. They will replay. I'm glad that they said that on backstage earlier. So yes, we will be doing reactions to the Twitch Star Wars matches. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Not going to do as well as anybody in that tourney, but hey.
Luckily, they can reuse questions, so it'll be like, what's the name of the farm boy in A New Hope from Tatooine? Oh, Luke Skywalker. We know a Star Wars question.
That Anakin?
No, jeez.
He's the slave boy from Tatooine.
Yeah, but that was episode 1 I was talking about from A New Hope.
Oh, yeah.
What is the name of Luke's aunt and uncle?
Hey, Vader was still the slave boy from Tatooine in A New Hope.
I didn't say slave boy. I would never say slave boy on our channel.
You're missing it.
Yeah. Anyway, so hopefully they reuse some of those questions, and this will be a lot more fun to play.
I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch, though. There's a lot of good contenders. Who do you got for the entire Star Wars tournament?
Alex Damon.
No, he's not in the tournament.
Well, I mean, he's at the end of the tournament.
So you got Molly. You said Damon.
Yeah, I mean, Molly may have a shot. I don't know if her knowledge is as strong as Alex, but I mean, I really haven't watched Star Wars Explained. Way to put me in that spotlight.
I'll watch them. They're both good.
Okay, so I mean, Molly may be able to put up a good fight,
I know,
which would be awesome because that's a Damon household civil war right there.
A lot of people sleep on Molly just because they're going based on her performance in the Fatal 5-Way that was in Chicago, because Laura Kelly, Andrew DeMolanta, they both outperformed her essentially. But the thing is that that's in front of a live crowd for your first match, and it's a number 1 contenders match. She's gonna be at home for this.
I do think that, like, say Scrimshaw, DeMolanta, and Laura Kelly,
and Ken. Those are all good choices.
Well, I would say the 3 I said are probably going to be the best shot over, like, other than Molly Damon. I think Knapsack has a shot, but I feel like there's a difference between Alex Damon's game and Knapsack's game.
For sure.
And I feel like Knapsack has it, unfortunately. He hasn't kept up to that level.
But he wrote a book.
He wrote a book, and which would normally be my justification, like when Smets was talking crap to Brad Gilmore about Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I was like, but Brad Gilmore wrote a book. I don't know.
Writing a book, I think, holds weight because that means this person is learned of the subject. They've watched the movies over and over again. They know them back and forth. They know them enough to be a valuable source of information when it comes to writing a book. I think Ken obviously, you can't count Ken out, ever. The thing of it is, though, is that I have a sneaky suspicion and a feeling about Sean Sullivan. Personal bias because I've gotten to know the guy one-on-one in person.
A fantastic person.
Great dude. Love him. I've also gotten to know Adam Witt, though. Just moving everything. I've gotten to know Adam Witt also. Also, great dude. I don't know what's happening.
I'm trying to move it all back with the Force, since we're talking about Star Wars. Apparently that's not a real thing.
We're over time. I wouldn't mind seeing a Adam Witt versus Sean Sullivan in the finals again.
Yeah.
Can it happen? It's plausible. I mean, anything can happen in the Schmoedown. Any one of these people can win. It's a matter of the questions they get, the wheel they spin, and the numbers they pick.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I have a sneaky suspicion about Sean Sullivan, though. I am kind of pulling for him at this point.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. It could be anyone's game. You look at someone like Andrew DeMolanta, he's got a lot to lose on this one. He's got a record that he needs to have a win on.
Yeah.
You can't count him out, especially when he's working with the other folks at the Finstock Exchange. This could be his time. Scrimshaw, always a viable contender. One of the closest ones to potentially beat Alex Damon. Laura Kelly, valuable contender. Also got close to beating Alex Damon. The only match in Spectacular that didn't end in a KO or a TKO.
Yeah.
to get that close with Alex Damon, you can't count Laura Kelly out either. Here's the thing, though. No matter who wins the tournament, they're not beating Alex Damon. I've said this in chats. I will stand by this. And I know some people might disagree in the chat, or they might have strong feelings about some of these other players. Even I love Sean Sullivan. I love all the people who are competing in the Star Wars matches. Nobody is taking the belt off Alex Damon. That dude is too good. He's going to retire with the belt.
Yeah.
That's the only way he vacates the belt. He's going to retire. He's going to beat the Patriots' record of holding the belt. He's going to retire with the belt. You heard it here first, maybe. It's going to happen, though. No one's going to beat Alex Damon. Maybe the closest one might be Molly.
So,
because she lives with him.
Garth is saying Ken Knapsack's promo this week shown before this week's match, and also Ken's YouTube channel was fire. Go to Ken's channel and watch if you haven't yet. Yeah, Ken's reaction to all of the trades or whatnot.
It was interesting.
It was really, really quirky and awkward. Not Quirky Merc's quirky, but just quirky.
I liked how he referred to all the reactors in his takes 79 and the call to whoever's and the Reaction Brothers.
The Reaction Brothers. That was the one I liked. That apparently there's...
I wonder who that is.
There's a couple of brothers who do reactions. I don't know who...
I'd like to see their channel.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's us.
The Reaction Brothers.
I love that.
That's funny.
Yeah, no. Ken's promo was very interesting. For somebody who is not a wrestling person, didn't watch wrestling, which I think he was playing up that wrestling angle there with that promo, essentially. I didn't quite get it, but at the same time, I saw humor there, and I was like, this is good stuff. Ken is a professional. Ken knows what he's doing. Also, why did it cut to Riley? I don't... That was over my head.
Yeah, just
it was funny. It was great.
Just for it to cut to Riley.
It was funny. It was great. I love it. I don't understand it, but I love it. Anyway, so Star Wars tournament. It's gonna be fire.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be live on Twitch too. So if you can watch it live, watch it live. Otherwise, like us, we're probably not gonna be able to watch it live. We are both working during the day.
Yeah.
So probably gonna end up.
We'll do the reactions to it.
Still do reactions to it, but we'll be catching it on replays. Inner Geekdom Tournament. I know we're past time. We've got to run through this.
So she's rubbing her face up against a tripod, and your camera is like doing this, like,
gosh dang it, Lola. Go take a nap.
So funny.
Anyway,
cats.
Inner Geekdom Tournament. This is gonna be interesting.
It's going to come down to Parker versus Smets, was what we're all hoping for.
Smets isn't in the tournament.
Well, no, I mean, at the end of the tournament.
It's going to come down to Parker versus Kalinowski.
Well, yes. Okay, sure.
Which honestly, I love Smets. I'm a big fan of Kevin Smets. Parker versus Kalinowski at this point might end up being a more hyped match than Smets versus Kalinowski. Because we know what's going to happen. What the end result is one of those two people have to face Smets. Kalinowski
either again, one of those is a good match.
Kalinowski again or Parker for the first time. And
yeah,
either one of those is hyped. There's going to be a lot of... If it comes down to Parker versus Kalinowski at the finals of this thing, guys, this is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Oh, look, my phone is reminding me of something like I said before this thing. I said we should be done by now. Oh, well.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah. But I mean, I said this on the Facebook page for Schmoedown. The 4 names you need to be watching during this tournament are Barbarian, Parker, Damon, and Kalinowski.
Yeah.
I think those are the 4 that are going to make the biggest waves. I know Brandon's got a fire under him. I understand that. And I know he's got some good accuracy.
Because he's a hot man.
You look at how much Damon knows about Star Wars, and every single one of his Inner Geekdom matches, if he fails anywhere else in his knowledge, he's going to be saved by his knowledge of Star Wars.
Oh,
goodness.
Come here, Squeaky.
She doesn't have to be on camera.
She can be.
It's the Cinefanatic. It's the Cinefanatic. Hi, Lola. She's going to tear the tablecloth. Anyway.
Yeah, she's okay.
Anyway, I think Damon is a strong contender here. His Star Wars knowledge is probably going to save him in many, many instances. And that's, I think, what's going to make him one of the top players here. Kalinowski's Kalinowski. Enough said.
Mm-hmm.
Kalinowski's held the belt in this division.
Multiple times.
He's beaten Rachel, finally. He's beaten Smets before. It's Kalinowski. If you're counting Kalinowski out of this thing, you're dumb. Sorry, you're dumb.
Yeah.
You don't count Kalinowski out of this. Kalinowski could win the thing. Kalinowski could be the one to beat Parker. On the flip side, we haven't seen Barbarian and Energetum yet, but the way that dude is talked up, he could be the one to beat Parker also.
Ooh, Garth is saying Parker versus Smets will be great because Nerd Chronic can use footage of Parker TKOing Smets in the fan leagues for the promo.
That he's not wrong. He's not wrong. You've got that option. That's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I think we do. We inevitably will see Parker versus Smets. I'm counting Kalinowski out in that final because at this point, Parker is a machine.
Yeah.
We've seen one match from him.
So is Janine.
Yes. And she is also in the Energetum tournament also. But no, we've seen one match from Parker in the big leagues. We've seen him in the fan leagues before. Parker is a machine. I am very confident that just based on his accuracy in that first match. Kalinowski sneezes in the finals. It's over.
Pretty much.
Kalinowski has to go to multiple choice. One question. It's over.
If he quotes any more Queen songs, it's over.
Yeah. That's what it's going to come down to. Now, on the flip side, we see a play-in between Vevda and Goddard. Goddard, who has shown in singles, he's not perfect at Energetum categories. But if he goes into the tournament and is on fire and somehow, some way, Parker sneezes, has to go to multiple choice, and Goddard has a perfect run, and Goddard takes out Parker in the first round of the Energetum tournament, dude has solidified pretty much this early in the year. He has pretty much solidified, Barbarian aside, his Rookie of the Year status at that point. That's why you shouldn't handle the cat during our live stream. So, anything can happen. I mean, Goddard takes out Parker. First of all, that's a huge hit against the hype around Parker. Because he's supposed to go to the finals in this thing.
Yeah.
Goddard all of a sudden gets it. First of all, Kate looks like a genius. Secondly,
Goddard jumps to the top of the...
Goddard's everyone's first pick anywhere, always, ever.
Yeah. Goddard jumps to the top of the list of Rookie of the Year.
Doesn't even have to win the tournament. He beats Parker. He's good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're looking at several situations. You have different rookies who are in play right now. If they beat Parker in this tournament, that's big.
Oh man, this is going to be massive. And here's the thing. Overall, I think at the end of the day, no matter what, kudos to Christian for keeping the Schmoedown alive and on fire like this.
Yeah.
Right now, while everything is like just closing up or shutting down or just like even here, we didn't really have much movie news to talk about tonight.
We had plenty of Schmoedown to talk about. We're going overtime because we have plenty of Schmoedown to talk about.
Yeah, and again, kudos to Christian. Just wow.
I mean, yeah, let me run through this list real quick. Real quick, because we got to wrap this up. Barbarian versus Lavick. Barbarian takes that. Adam Lavick is good, but we have a lot of faith behind Barbarian right now.
Yeah.
Emily Rose Jacobson versus John Humphrey. I believe John Humphrey knows a lot about geek knowledge. I've watched Real Rejects.
Yeah.
Emily Rose Jacobson, though, I think takes that just based on her experience in Energetum. She's going to edge him out just a little bit. Chance Ellison versus Paul Oyama. I think Chance can win this one. First of all, Chance has been in Energetum. This would be Paul's first time in Energetum.
But Paul knows everything about like every movie.
Paul knows a lot. I think Chance can beat him here, though. Vevda versus Goddard as the play-in. I think Goddard has a shot here. Don't know Vevda's Energetum knowledge. Either one could take that one. I think Goddard has a shot here. I think you do see Parker versus Goddard as the first round. Parker takes that.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Then you move it down to, at that point, you have Barbarian versus Emily Rose. I mean, we're probably going to write this all out and do it as we do our reactions to all of this, too. Barbarian versus Emily Rose at that point. Barbarian. I think Barbarian's got that. Then you have Chance versus Parker. Parker's going to take that one. Now you got Barbarian versus Parker. I have no freaking clue. I think
Parker, yeah.
I think Parker ultimately, but man, that's gonna be another one of Who Sneezes First matches. So I think
this is Inner Geekdom, so yeah. Barbarian's not having to answer any questions about small soldiers.
Hey, watch the video Chronic Pop Culture Trivia. You'll see this man do his business against Barbarian.
So yeah, I think Parker's probably got that.
We're pretty confident that Parker's got the left side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Right side, you got Brandon Hanna versus Saul. Saul's unproven.
We don't know anything about Saul.
Except that his dog likes to get the bacon.
His dog loves bacon.
His dog loves the bacon.
We saw, for those of y'all who were at the fan event for Spectacular, you may have seen Saul participate in that fan...
The fan competition
that Goddard was hosting, yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't think he'd be in it if he can't play along to some degree.
Yeah.
I think Brandon Hanna's experience outshines Saul, though. Saul beats Hanna. Then, again, Kate looks like a genius. And Hanna has to, go wipe egg off his face or whatever the metaphors are that you would use in this case.
Oh, with like some egg. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Hungry.
Okay. Keep focused. We got to run through this real quick. I think Brandon Hanna wins that one, though. Brandon Hanna's accuracy, his experience. I think Hanna's got that over Saul.
Yeah.
Next one. Damon versus Jen Kemp. We don't know Jen Kemp. I know she's played in the fan leagues, and I know she played in that one free-for-all match. But we have not yet seen Jen Kemp play in the big leagues. She could be a huge, dominant player. In which case, she takes out Damon. I'm eating my words on saying Damon is one to watch. Possible. It's possible. I'm putting Damon as the winner of that, though, because we have seen Damon play, and he did pretty dang good in Inner Geekdom.
Yeah.
Next, you got Janine versus Eric Zipper. I love both of these guys, honestly.
I love both of them. I don't know who would probably edge out in Inner Geekdom trivia.
I don't know. Zipper's been in Inner Geekdom. He's played. He's got experience in Inner Geekdom. I think Zipper's also hungry. He's got a fire underneath him. Oh, of course, Janine does too. Janine's got a fire underneath her also. That's anyone's game. That's honestly anyone's game. The dungeon head in me wants to say
Zipper.
Just give it to Zipper just because I don't know who to pick.
But the fan in you wants to say Janine.
I would love to see Janine get some success because, pandemic aside, this was supposed to be her and Rachel's year.
Yeah.
Her and Silver Stream's year. So, Dungeon gives it to Zipper. Playing, you got Greg Alba versus Warfather. Warfather's got experience over Greg.
I would say Warfather.
In Inner Geekdom. Greg also might know some stuff. So, I'm going to give it to Warfather just based on the experience. So then you have Mike versus Warfather. It's Mike.
Mike Kalinowski.
Yeah, Mike.
Kalinowski, yep.
Yep. So now you have Brandon Hanna versus, say, Alex Damon. That's going to be a good match. I think that's a pretty even match for Inner Geekdom. Yeah. Slightly edging Damon out just based on his dominance of Star Wars trivia.
Yeah.
You have next Zipper versus Kalinowski. It's Kalinowski. Kalinowski had a belt. It's Kalinowski.
Yep.
So now you have Damon versus Kalinowski. Kalinowski's had a belt. It's Kalinowski.
And then it's going to come down to Kalinowski versus Parker.
Which who the heck knows?
Yeah.
I think Parker wins. But anyway, there's a lot going on there. I mean, I could have ran through the Star Wars bracket too, but I think we've pretty much solved that one pretty well. There's just a lot happening in the Schmoedown. Time to jump in, time to pay attention to it. These tournaments are happening through StreamYard, through Twitch, through YouTube, Inner Geekdom on YouTube,
yep.
Star Wars on Twitch. Smith, Jericho, Doug Benson, all this stuff is happening. Just a bunch of craziness. I can't wait to see how the rest of this year shakes out. Hopefully this pandemic stuff slows down. I know there's a bunch of stuff in the news about that, but hopefully it slows down. Hopefully we get those studio matches back and we can see the Schmoedown end on a bang like it's supposed to.
Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for tonight.
We went late. Sorry, guys.
If y'all have like any last minute questions, quickly, I would say get those in while we wrap things up. So if you want to follow us, you can find us at Twitter, Instagram at Cinefanatics MLP. You can find each of us at our individual Twitter and Instagrams down below here.
Star Wars bracket, yada yada yada. Alex Damon beats whoever wins it. Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess we didn't go through that one, but yeah, I mean,
Alex Damon is going to ultimately beat whoever wins it.
Yeah. Make sure you hop on our Patreon, patreon.com/cinefanatics. Join the tier that's right for you. We will be looking more into that as to what we're providing on those tiers.
Yeah, we got to work on the Schmoedown watch along this month and the movie watch along this month. So we will be sending that out as soon as we have a discussion about it.
So make sure you hop on that now so you can be a part of that discussion.
We got $1 tier, $5 tier, $10 tier. Pick which one's right for you.
Yeah, real simple, real easy. 3 tiers. Nice and cheap, I guess. Hop on the tier that you want to hop on. It would help us out, help him buy his phone. Is Tenet going to make its release date, says Cutter?
The question is more of, are theaters going to be open?
Yeah, well, so I know they were talking about that this past week on if that was going to happen. We still haven't heard anything about it, so I would assume as of right now, as of this live streaming that we're doing, they're still on set.
Nolan's pushing.
Now, this is going to be one of those things that we're like, yeah, probably still going to be on target, and then tomorrow morning before we even wake up, they're going to be like, yeah, we had to push that back.
It could be. And if Tenet pushes, maybe I think we see Disney possibly also push Mulan. We'll see.
Yeah, possibly, because if you're pushing back an unknown movie by a popular director, you're going to probably push back a popular
It's hard to tell. We've got a whole month and a half before July, and these movies are supposed to come out in July. So we'll see. We've got maybe a whole month and a half, 2 months before we see these movies anyway. So you never know what's going to happen over the course of the next 2 months.
Yeah. Garth, last minute question. What are you having for breakfast? The same thing I have for breakfast every morning, Pinky.
Try to take over the world.
Breakfast tacos and an energy drink. That's how I deal with people coming in and out of my cable store every day asking the weirdest questions ever.
I will be having waffles, oatmeal,
and
bacon and eggs, any of those things.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles. That's our second Shrek reference in this video tonight.
Wonderful.
Anyway,
guys, yeah. Hop on the Patreon. Follow us at the things. They're all there. Come back next week. We'll be doing this again, and I can't stop burping while I'm trying to talk.
And we'll have like all kinds of new mic problems next week. So make sure you join us.
And maybe we'll have movie news.
Possibly. I'm going to run that music thing. So
do it!
The music is going now. So that's going to do it for this week. We hope to see y'all next week. Y'all have a great week. And we will see y'all next week. Man, I can't stop saying week. Anyway.
Let's make later.
Later.